We're not too far off getting underway then on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, and of course on BBC Sounds all this season in the National League, maybe for 1 year, maybe more. We'll find out at the end of it, depending on where United are. But we're about ready to go as Carlisle prepare to get us underway here in the National League. This will take us past the third way mark in the season, on to game number 16 already. After this one, a third of the way through the season done, as United look to find their way out of the National League. We are underway with Carlisle kicking us off, and they immediately drill out to the right wing. Kelly toes it down the line to one of his teammates, and United have it on halfway. Right hand side, Davis gets around, surely going to get the early free kick, and does. Went down looking for it a little bit, but I think there was a little bit of contact. Chris Beard?
Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he? He's received the ball, he's sort of turned, he's a little bit too quick for the Yeovil players, just drew a foul.
Quick sharp feet. Carlisle will send the free kick forwards up towards the edge of the area. The goalkeeper got out right at the feet there of Regan Linney, a split second sooner from Linney there, and that would have been dangerous for Carlisle United. Dangerous, well, for them going forwards. Yeah,
I think he was just a bit too lively with the free kicks. I don't think any of the players were ready for him to take it, and it's gone straight through to the goalkeeper.
We are underway and live in the National League then for this 16th game of the season for Carlisle United. Looking to go top of the table if they can win here, and Rochdale come a cropper at Woking. We'll keep you posted on that game and the rest of the games, including the Premier League action and the Barrow game against Barnet. Down the left hand side, looked to me like Linney was off. The referee, or the line on the far side, keeps his flag down, and the goalkeeper took a risk clearing down the line. Yeovil trying to get onto it here on the right wing, and who did that come off? The Yeovil man, throwing to Carlisle United as the ball's thrown away. Looks like Harvey Greenslade is the man who started on the right wing actually, so Tavon Campbell will be down the middle, up front, alongside Aaron Jarvis, for those interested. Out to the right hand side we go with Davies at right back for United, plays it up into the opposition half, and the ball had gone out of play as it was played by Davies, so it's a throw into Yeovil on halfway, left hand side as they look to come forwards.
Yeah, a lot of intent straight away from Carlisle, isn't there? As soon as the ball comes, they get possession, get it wide early, just looking to play in behind and down the side. So I think, obviously the manager's highlighted some weaknesses in the back four for Yeovil.
Throw down the left hand side for Yeovil, trying to get at United. They're opening foray forward, second minute, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Carlisle get one little tackle in on it, but they're still coming forwards here, looking to try and find the angle for the shot towards goal. Takes a deflection, did it? No, just a scragged hit, and away it goes. Oluwabori with the strike on goal there. Showed not good running, almost that sort of bumbling sort of, but that tenacity sometimes that players have, where they just sort of bundle their way through without a great deal of skill, but actually get into a decent position there.
Yeah, I think it's good defending as well, isn't it? There's contact there. They're just kind of forcing him wider and wider and wider, and as he's gone to kind of strike the ball, there's enough contact for him not to get a good contact himself on the ball, and it's just trickled through for a goal kick.
It's a bright day here. I actually brought my sunglasses out of the car. I think the sun might come round into our view the longer the afternoon goes on here. I've got these sort of advertising bits on the lip of the front of the stand, so the roof of it here, which will probably protect us a bit from the sun, won't it, getting it too much in our eyes. I don't imagine they're there for our benefit, more just to try and get more advertisers on.
Absolutely, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it, because we could do with it being raised a couple of degrees. My feet are certainly telling me that.
Thrown down the right hand side here for Yeovil. Carlisle try and pin them in the final third, volleyed away though into the United half. Feeney underneath this, heads it back downfield. Grant trying to get it on to it in there, but man wins toweringly over the top of him. Gilead in the midfield for United, back into the central defence, and then it's just got rid of, I think, as much as anything by Hayden there, with men closing down on him, and it drifts through to the Yeovil goalkeeper. In the 4th minute, goalless. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport with me, James Phillips, and the former Plymouth Academy director, head of academy, former football coach, let's just go with that for the purposes of trying to get through it each time. Chris Beard, who is alongside us, the new voice with us on Carlisle United coverage, but be very well known to Barrow fans, having worked many times with Adam Johnson over the years, and actually worked covering a game at Plymouth with Andy Wood doing Carlisle many years ago.
Correct, yeah, I think that was my first time working for BBC Radio Cumbria.
Yeah, so you have been on United duty before. Ball forwards there was really sharp work in the midfield from Gilead, really good take after the clip ball into him, trying to go out to the right looking for Kelly over the top. Not a terrible idea from Linney with that diagonal pass, but just a bit too much on it. Sort of a hand of acknowledgement from Kelly, but the ball didn't quite make it. At right back here with Yeovil, down the right touchline they look to come with Greenslade, the sort of top scorer on the pitch joint top scorer on the pitch on 3 goals is Greenslade, with McCormack in the midfield. Lifted forward by Yeovil, trying to get it out to the left wing. Carlisle get the next touch, but Gilead couldn't bring it down, so Yeovil have it. Middle of their half, played out to the right now. Afete is going to try and get away from Linney down that right hand side. Just United need to make sure one of them takes control of him, and in the end Harper plays it off the Yeovil man. They're a bit fortunate that broke kindly for him, because I think both Linney and Harper were leaving it to each other there.
I think they were really, but I think he's not got the crossing quick enough, has he? He's delayed it and allowed them to defend in numbers, but it has resulted in a Carlisle throw.
Yeah, socked it off him, didn't he, Harper, basically, and out of play it goes for a throw. Down the line, Kelly trying to win it, but Afete wins that one over him from right back. Looks like the forward went down a touch easily there, and that's what the referee thinks is just allowed play to go on when they were appealing for the free kick. Now Williams trying to get after it down this right hand side here, and I think he'll get it, because he's lightning quick, does get there, and just slipped as he got to the byline and wound up carrying the ball out of play, so he gets mildly jeered, but tell you what, there'll be a bit of relief there, because it looked like he was making up the ground.
Absolutely, he was in, wasn't he? I think as you can see, the Yeovil back line aren't the quickest, are they? I mean, Afete on this side has got a bit of pace, as he's just proved when he's gone forward, but I think Carlisle are definitely looking to play the ball in behind and down the sides as soon as they can. Just got to get it right, but unfortunately on that occasion, Williams just lost his foot in right at the end, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
In the centre of defence with one out, takes it out to the left touchline, plays forwards for Yeovil, over the top, looked like it caught the wind, it was booming forwards and then just dropped like a stone. Next contact in there is a Carlisle one. Davis gets on it, man all over him, and he gets another free kick just right to the centre circle in the Carlisle half, and he certainly knows how to win a free kick, doesn't he? I think there was contact, but he knows how to get the ref's attention, does Archie Davis. Yeah,
I think Davis is a little bit lucky there, because he's gone in studs up on the first contact with the ball, hasn't he? And I think the Yeovil player's just lost his head a little bit, showed a bit of frustration and gave a free kick away.
He bared his teeth a little there, didn't he? And the Yeovil player didn't take too kindly. Free kick forwards from Breeze for United. Diagonal to the left, Kelly trying to get onto it. Their defender heads it away initially, then further away, drops on the touchline, played down the line and off the Carlisle man. And that's really good defending actually from Greenslade on this right wing for Yeovil. Thrown to them just on the edge of their own area. Fete to take it down this right hand side. Sign from Ross County after previously coming through at Norwich and playing for Grimsby. United win the first contact in the midfield from that Yeovil throw, and then have to head away as Yeovil volley it forwards again up towards the edge of the area, but that little flick on will just drift through, and it's very patchy at the moment, isn't it, Chris? Not a great deal sort of developing demonstrably for either side.
There isn't really. I think Carlisle are looking to getting the ball in behind as often as possible, so Yeovil, but obviously the wind's against Yeovil, so it's not quite getting in behind.
Yeah, they're not quite managing, but it does mean it holds up, so they can really boom it forwards, and they're trying to come away again down the left hand side. Gilead wins it back though for United on the edge of the Carlisle penalty area, up to halfway on the right with Williams, tries to take his man on, but he's maybe bitten off a bit. Didn't quite have the area to accelerate into there, did he? And this man takes the ball away from him, and Nurse clears away downfield. I get palpitations whenever I think of George Nurse. I remember almost weeping. Carlisle were so desperate for points 6 years ago, and it looked like they were going to get one at Newport, who were flying at the time, and he scored a 30-yarder with the final kick of the game in the 96th minute, and I just remember being so devastated for all the travelling Carlisle fans.
Yeah, it's brutal, isn't it, when that happens, but nevertheless he's got a job to do, hasn't he? I'm sure he wouldn't have liked it that much either, but nevertheless you don't want to see that, really. It's brutal.
I think Kelly's said a bit too much to the referee there about how much his shirt's being held, and he's being held when he's going up for headers, and the ref's just having a word with him. Hayden having just headed out for a throw to Yeovil, which they are taking way up from where it was. Mind the Carlisle players trying to point that out. I mean, it went out in front of that no standing sign, didn't it? And look, he's 15 yards on from that.
Yeah, I don't think the linesman's helped him out there much.
No, not at all. Worked it well on this right hand side into a possible crossing position. Afate's got a man in front of him, gives it down the line to a man in a tighter area, which is strange, and then they've sort of lost possession, but fortunately got it back. Carlisle get the next touch, really good passing outside, and then Clark gets on it for United. It was clever from Gilead. Ball in towards Williams. First touch is really good, trying to drive forwards here. He's got Linney in space on the left, slides it to Linney, slips, and I don't know, he's trying to stay on side, wasn't he, in backpedaling to do that. He slipped on top of the ball, and the ball's now throw-in, or he's given a free kick for handball, actually, the ref maybe.
Yeah, I think as he just broke forward there, I think he was just desperate for Linney just to run inside. He was going to thread the ball through, but he stayed wide, and when he threaded it to him, he lost his balance, and we lost possession.
He loves to get it outside, chop in, and shoot for the far corner. It's his MO. He's done it several times already, and from acute angles, almost at the byline. So I think he doesn't want to go inside because that means that they know where he's going to go. I suppose he wants to stay wide so he can chop inside and open up the space to shoot. But yeah, Williams it was a good touch, wasn't it, for the run into the midfield from Josh Williams, but just didn't between them didn't quite work what was a promising moment.
Exactly that. You've got to say great first touch, isn't it, to break that line, and I think that's where you're going to undo Yeovil a little bit, because although they do get good shape, out possession, they don't move. They're quite rigid. So if players can break in between lines, receive the ball there's a massive chance to open them up. But it's what we can understand that and latch onto it.
Frankie McAvoy in that technical area alongside Gavin Skelton for Carlisle. I'm trying to really peer and see if I can see Mark Hughes in the stand opposite us. He's maybe about 10 feet from Frankie McAvoy. You can bark instructions to him, but Barrow taking the lead against Barnet. Barrow 1, Barnet 0. Didn't quite catch the goal scorer there. Josh Gordon with the goal. In the National League, Truro are ahead at Gateshead. That is a fantastic scoreline for their travelling fans, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. They've just come good of late, haven't they? Got a few results on the board because they really struggled to adapt with National League football at the start of the season.
They did.
Yeah, well done to them.
But that, briefly, their trip to Carlisle was the longest ever journey for a league game in England, but now Gateshead the trip to Gateshead has now overtaken it, and what a trip it is. Was it 918 mile round trip? I think it is. Carlisle gets the ball on the edge of the area, sharp turns and faces his man, goes for the top corner and it kills a lot but not quite enough, always looks set wide, but I tell you what, it swerved viciously, and I had half a hope that it was going to nestle at one point.
Yeah, showed some outstanding skill now, hasn't he, just to receive the ball. He's dropped his shoulder left, turned inside right, and as his shot's gone in, it's killed, but it's just outside the upright, unfortunately, and Yeovil survive.
Still working nil, Rochdale nil. That's the one we're really interested in, although there's lots of intrigue. Boreham Wood, of course, between Carlisle and top spot at the moment. They're drawing in their game. News coming through yesterday, if you hadn't heard it, Carlisle fans, and Paul actually broke the news to me. I hadn't heard it because of my drive down, that Carlisle's game on the Saturday before Christmas has now been moved to 4 p.m. on the Sunday before Christmas at Boreham Wood. Oh, what a wound. I mean, that is absolute fans last, isn't it? That's
going to test the Carlisle fail, that, isn't it? On a Sunday just before Christmas.
It really is. At Yeovil here, long way from home in this one as Yeovil try and send the ball forwards. They've picked out Jarvis in their forward line. It's good hold-up play from him. He's worked it into the midfield, and they'll come out to this right wing now. Fetty and Greenslade, the two players looking to combine. There's an option in the midfield for Yeovil, trying to work it out. Carlisle cut it out though. That's good, tenacious defending from Harper. And after play it goes for a throw to Yeovil. It's not. I think some people thought Carlisle just needed to turn up today, and I tell you what, Yeovil are right in this one.
They are indeed. They work it really well in wide areas. They get 3 or 4 bodies around the ball and just look to suck the Carlisle players out. What they haven't done is delivered the ball in the box when the space opens up. So it'll be interesting to see if that is a tactic where they're trying to draw players from the centre of the pitch to the outside and then to whip balls in the box. We'll see.
Yeah, Jarvis is quite a good presence, isn't he? So if they did get that wing ball in, you'd think he'd be able to make the most of it. Carlisle worked it out to the left here. Well, it's just a clearance really that Linney's managed to get onto, running up towards the edge of the penalty area. Couldn't chop to one way, gets the ball onto his left foot, tries to find a teammate, caught as he did so. Carlisle I think want the penalty. Linney certainly does. He's not getting up. He needs to, because Carlisle are playing on the edge of the area. Linney's now rolled over and hurting that penalty area. Conclock's trying to get a shot towards goal, which the goalkeeper gathers. The problem here is that Yeovil are under no obligation to put the ball out to play, because Carlisle played on. Linney's got up. He's not happy. He's getting booed. He looks pretty peeved that the referee didn't give him something there. It would have been harsh to give a penalty, I would have thought, but as he played the ball inside, he seemed to have been caught, and he certainly feels he was.
There was contact. It was minimal, I think, but nevertheless, he certainly felt it. But it's really interesting, wasn't it, that the back four for Yeovil are staying so narrow. So what you said earlier, maybe they are just trying to condense inside to stop them cutting in.
Conclock working the angle. What a bit of skill that was, and he dragged his shot ever so slightly, took it beyond the goalkeeper's near post. But for a moment, when he managed to wriggle away from his man and flash that shot, I actually thought 1-0.
Absolutely, yeah, very, very unlucky not to score there. But again, he's doing really well, isn't he? He's just drifting into them areas between the midfield unit and the back 3 or 4 for Yeovil, picking the ball up, and then not coming out with any sort of presence to really go and close him down, which is allowing him to get twisting and turn and get shots off. So yeah, he's probably had the best 2 chances of the game so far.
It's a risk to go 4-4-2, isn't it, against a team who've got such a productive number 10, because he's sat in that pocket there and they don't know who to pick him up.
Absolutely. When I looked at Yeovil's last game, that's where they come unstuck. They're so rigid in that formation. There's gaps in between both units.
Swirled in behind Carlisle United. Hayden needs to be aware of Campbell in behind him and the wind, and he's done well. Heads it down the line. Harper clears it further. Throw to Yeovil, middle of the United half. dealt with that really well there, because if that had caught the wind wrong, it could have allowed Campbell in behind him there, and he's quick. Throwing in from the right wing for the Glovers. They'll go across to the centre of their defence and feed it out left hand side to Nurse, the left back. Plays it down the wing, trying to get in behind Carlisle. Feeney's got time to pick what he wants to do. Clips it away down the right. Just throw again to Yeovil, middle of the Carlisle half, but this time out on the left.
Yeah, just not so much retention for either teams, is it?
Oluwabori trying to find that angle for the shot, feeds it to a teammate, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner, but it's one of those that could have deflected in. Just got to be aware of that danger. Oluwabori likes to come in from that wing, doesn't he, and on that right foot, and found a teammate there. The shot in on goal, and applause from Gabe Breeze for somebody getting the block on it, but that block could have taken it past him. Absolutely,
yeah, but Grant did fantastically well, doesn't he? He's really busted his gut to get there, slide in, and just managed to get something off it to force that shot off target, but it's give Yeovil a corner and an opportunity.
Really starting to grow into the role, Josh Grant. When he came in, was initially in the team after injuries and falling away a little bit, you wondered if he still had the legs. Hang on a second, here comes the corner for Yeovil, swept into the middle of the goal, and it's into the back of the net. It might even be an own goal, I'm not sure. I think it might have gone in off Feeney. Going after it in there, it looked a real mess for Carlisle United, and in the 15th minute it's Yeovil who take the lead here against Carlisle, and what a mess
it is. I'm not sure if it's Feeney that's actually made the first contact and actually headed it onto the Yeovil player and then in the back of the net, because it certainly looked like Feeney had the first contact, but a little bit of a mess at the corner there, and it's Yeovil 1-0.
Yeah, I'm just watching a replay here, and still can't quite see, because it's still a wide angle from what we're seeing here. Tell you what, the analyst for Carlisle United is very sharp. I can see why he works for the club. Header in. I don't know whether their man actually caught it and a bit of Feeney, or he just got around him and clean won the header, actually, having seen that. But it was a really, really messy goal from Carlisle, and it's kind of inexplicable, because they're very commanding in there generally with Hayden and Feeney, but they weren't there.
No, it is a mess. You've got to say, it looks like a deflection of some sort, because the goalkeeper was absolutely root to that spot and had absolutely no chance. So yeah, it's 1-0 unfortunately.
Yeah, just a few minutes after Con Clark had come closest for either side, and for Carlisle in particular with that flash shot, it's Yeovil who take the lead here at Hewish Park against Carlisle United, and United haven't lost here since 2011, 14 years, 4 wins, 3 draws over the 7 games here at Hewish Park, but today they are behind and they've got some work to do against the Glovers, who would love to unsettle and upset them and try and get their own season going here after 3 consecutive defeats in all competitions.
Yeah, I mean, they had a decent run, didn't they, previously, and then have had a bit of a stinker in terms of losing sort of 3 in a row, whereas Carlisle, it's been the complete opposite. So it's not against the run of play, because you've got to say that Carlisle have had the best 2 opportunities to score in the game. Neither team have really dominated possession, so it's still open, but it's a scrappy goal to concede.
Yeah, it really is, and United need to respond now. Ball forwards to Kelly, did really well to hold off his man and got another kick off the fullback coming in. Bit of space here on the left for Harper. Linney's gone inside, Grant trying to work with him. As I say, growing into that midfield role, and all of those things are a little moot at the moment though, aren't they, after United have gone behind here against Yeovil, so they've got some work to do to respond, show what they're made of, show their title credentials by how they come back in this game. Davis trying to bring them forwards, up the pitch in search of Kelly, headed away by their defender, and they get the next touch in there. 3 Carlisle men around the man who cleared the ball there, but just one of those things that, when suddenly it's going your way, the ball dropped in between all those Carlisle players into the one Yeovil man.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But I think that the intent's there. You can see that when Carlisle it's just looking to hit Kelly, isn't it, and maybe feed off him. So he's done exceptionally well, hasn't he? He's been kicked, he's been pulled, he's been harassed, which he's obviously let the referee know. But he's certainly the target man when the ball goes forward.
It's nice being around somebody who knows what they're doing, incidentally. I mean, obviously you do, Chris, but the analyst here for Carlisle, the way he dragged back the goal, zoomed in, got everything I needed to see. You can see someone who's good at their job, knows what they're doing. Have you ever tried in on all the different streaming platforms to rewind? They're all different, aren't they? And you look like your granddad, don't you? You're trying to make the TV controller work. It's nearly going out the window. Whereas he just made all of that work there, so we could see what happened with that messy goal Carlisle have conceded.
Absolutely. If you've got a good analyst that understands the game, knows how it all works, they're gold dust, they're brilliant.
Driven ball from Feeney out to the left wing, great ball to Linney, controls it instantly, but offside, just gone beyond the line. He's cutting a bit of a frustrated figure at the moment, shaking his head, feels that he should have got a penalty out the referee. Offside now, and his touch was excellent, but if you're not onside, you're not onside.
Yeah, outstanding. You can see that great first touch, but you can see that the Yeovil defenders, they aren't going to pressing him. They know pretty much what he's going to do. They know he's going to cut inside, and they're allowing him to do it, but that just delaying it a little bit allows Yeovil to get players on the inside of the pitch, and when he does cut in, they can kind of crowd him out a wee bit.
Good clearance from Davies there, but Yeovil coming forwards again down the right hand side. Greenslade trying to get around Harper. Harper's done well to get his body across it. Hayden can clear for Carlisle up towards halfway. Kelly working hard to try and get it under control in tight space on the near touchline. Doesn't, and it's a throw in to Yeovil amongst much jeering from the home fans for Kelly's touch.
Yeah, it wasn't a great ball into Kelly, in all fairness. He's had to work really hard to get something on it, but it's a Yeovil throw.
Fete with that throw down the line. Hayden wins the header into Linney, tight area, gets it back to Harper, who can clear upfield for United into that Yeovil half. Towering leap over the top of him by the Yeovil man, and they'll try and come forwards again with Greenslade down this right wing towards the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. Drilled cross, pings off the ankle of Harper and out for a Yeovil throw on the right. Yeah,
again, good solid defending, done everything right there, not allowed the cross to come in, which you want as a fullback or an inside midfield player.
20th minute here, throw in to Yeovil, right of the Carlisle penalty area. United a goal down, and really want to go 2 goals down here. Throw in which they've gathered with Campbell, and then back into the centre of midfield, McCormick, down the line and into the centre of defence and back through to their goalkeeper via Aaron Williams. One out further over his left back or centre back, shock of blonde hair about him. This looks like a sort of Swedish defender, doesn't he, Jake Winnell?
He does, he certainly looks the part for the film magazine, doesn't he? Or the website.
Clearance down the line from Yeovil. Carlisle, that's a good pass come clearance from Harper that picks out Linney on the left, and it's a chance for him to run there. Trying to double up on him as he jinks inside, tries the crossfield ball in towards Clark. Loose touch from him, and he's lost the possession of the ball. He needs to be a little bit better than that. I wonder if he was maybe slightly surprised with the ball from Linney, that Linney didn't run inside and try and find the shot, but he wasn't ready for it, and it ran away. And then Yeovil give away possession in their half, and Carlisle get the throw. Linney looks angry, and that can go one of 2 ways. He can sort of lose his head, or he can wind up taking it out on the back of the net.
Yeah, I'm sure that pass was for somebody else. I'm not sure it's for Clark.
It's a lovely little drag around the edge of the area. Gives it to Clark. Has Williams to his right. Tries to. It turned into his man and gets tackled again. Clark there, and I think he might have hurt himself in doing that there. A little slip to Williams there, and he was running in on goal, and Clark just couldn't see the angle to meg his man and get that pass through, so decided to try and run into the congestion and just lost the ball.
Yeah, it was begging just to slide the ball outside, wasn't it, to Williams, but he's turned inside, didn't see the man, and gone straight into traffic.
Hayden on the ball, then Feeney. Furthest men back, but right on halfway for Carlisle. Davies on the right touchline, just into the Yeovil half. Has to go back to Feeney, central defence for United. Tries the crossfield ball, diagonal to the left. Kelly under a lot of pressure from Afete, loses out. Oh, that's a poor tackle, and that could be a bit of trouble here for Harper, right onto the middle of the shin bone. Georgie Kelly immediately calling for the physio. I think the referee has to make that one, but he went in with the sort of the straight leg and the studs up, didn't he, the Yeovil man? And as Harper kicked up into it, they're awful because they can sort of break bones in your foot, or even worse, in your leg.
Absolutely. The referee was right on the spot though, wasn't he? So I think in terms of contact, it might have been minimal. Nevertheless, the studs are up there. There's a little bit of intent. Let's see. The referee's close enough to deal with that, so I'm sure we'll make the right decision here.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised if this wasn't. He seems to just given McCormick a talking to there. I'm kind of surprised that's not a yellow, actually.
I think minimal, that's a yellow card, isn't it, at the very least?
Yeah, it's one of those where it's borderline red, but that would be harsh, because as you say, the contact wasn't high, but it's the fact that Harper's kicking up, and I always kind of consider that one a bit of a coward's tackle when you're going with that straight leg studs up. Davies did it from right back earlier, didn't he?
He did, yeah. It's an easy one to do, isn't it? Because if they go straight through the ball, they're kicking the bottom of your foot, and that's a sore one, Yeah. So the player knows what he's doing, but the referee's got to be a little bit better there. I think it's a yellow card.
Yeah. It's middle of the Yeovil half. There's almost a little bit of Clark. Looks like he might fancy a shot here. Surely he's not. He is. He's gone for a dipper. The goalkeeper's punched it away on his line. Saw it a long way, but it dipped in the wind. And now it's with Linney on the left. Gets a cross in. Double ricochet back off him, and it's a goal kick to Yeovil. And he's had the worst 23 minutes of his Carlisle career, has Regan Linney. But I still don't doubt that he'll have an impact on this game. He's still doing all the right things, but everything. He's slipped over. He's had that one double ricochet back off him. He's been fouled in the box, he believes, and had a bit of a strop about it. You've never seen him look more frustrated, and yet he could easily go on and win this game for Carlisle.
Absolutely. You can see how a good player he is. There's no two ways about that. But again, you've got to give credit to Yeovil, because as soon as he gets the ball, they're not letting him come inside, or they're certainly getting traffic inside to stop that. But then they're getting 2 and 3 players around him. So unless he does something really, really quick and unlocks that door, it's very, very difficult, because they are sort of getting numbers over this side.
It's going to be a long goal kick forwards from the Yeovil stopper Ward. Here it goes downfield, out to the left wing. Carlisle defending to do over there. Feeney doesn't make the header. And, Yeovil on it. Well won back though by Grant for Carlisle, but he can't get on the next one, but Gilead does. And then Feeney clips away down the right. Headed away by Wannell at the back for the home side, and Yeovil managed to come away down the left, but Davies wins it back, plays it forwards in search of Kelly. Clark went down the right, Kelly just flicked it to the left, and it got away from the pair of them through to their goalkeeper in the end for Yeovil, but the link up was almost there.
It was a great bit of play into Kelly, wasn't it? Unfortunately his touch to take the ball down the side wasn't good enough, and it's run through for Yeovil.
Clearance away downfield. Young girl, looks like she might have been playing this morning, just arriving back, playing for one of the local teams around here in her kit, ready to watch Yeovil in theirs as Yeovil come away down the right hand side. And that's really good play. Fete into a crossing position from the right, really good ball in. Feeney had to very carefully steer that one away for a throw in, having already conceded one own goal so far this afternoon. Yeah, it has officially gone down as a Feeney own goal as well.
Oh, is it? There you go. I thought that was the case, but there you go. But Fete, they've unlocked the door really well. He's just running inside, hasn't he, in a threaded ball, so you've got to be very careful of that. And certainly in that second phase of the play down the right hand side.
Yeah, you do lose a man in the middle, don't you, when you play 4-4-2, but that doubling up of winger and fullback that was so prevalent in the 90s and early 90s football, but seems to have gone out the game, but they're exploiting it here as their ball goes forwards. It just caught in the wind again, and that could be a penalty. Feeney dragging his man down. The referee, I'm not sure what he's pointing at. He's saying it's not a foul, but Feeney had a hold of his man and the pair of them went down, and I tell you what, that was mighty risky.
Absolutely. Feeney's got both hands all over him there, hasn't he? But I think his saving grace is that the striker's looking for it and he's backing right into him. He's got away with one there.
The ref pointed as if he was saying he got the ball, but he certainly didn't. I don't know what he was pointing at, to be quite honest there. Sure. That would not have been a surprise at all if that had been given as a penalty. And Carlisle already 1-0 down. They are living just a little dangerously here in the sunshine at Yeovil. And Somerset, the side of county, sampled a little last night. It was absolutely brilliant.
Just the one, of course.
Yeah. Being professional, definitely didn't have 3 or 4. Here comes Clark trying to slalom away from men, but the pass didn't find Linney, and it's cleared away by Yeovil. Hayden took that one on his thigh, and a good crisp pass back towards Breeze in goal for United. Cap on today. And I might have taken it back off again, actually, Gabe Breeze. But has he still got the cap on? He certainly had it on earlier.
No, it's off.
It's gone, hasn't it? Just not having it. Too bothered about his barnet, I reckon. Got to keep it while it's there, haven't you?
It's a good one, though. It is a good one. 90s curtains by the looks of it from here, I think.
It's a great do, isn't it? Yeah. I said to you earlier, when you first arrived, I'd have curtains like that if my hair still grew in all the right spots. Back with their goalkeeper, Yeovil. You're not missing anything as we're chatting here. With Wannell at the back, exchanging passes with one of the Yeovil midfielders, just keeping the ball away from Carlisle. Frustrating United, and they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's one where Kelly just is that lone striker. He's just got to stop him playing around the back. He's just got to cut that off and just force them one way, Trying to play it out from the back here, and United did nick very high up against Forest Green and score from a similar position where Forest Green thought that they were in command of the situation. Ball away down the right, Fete can't stop it going out. Carlisle throw on halfway left hand side. It was Linney who nicked it and scored it. Just a great pulsating catching out of a team, slightly overdoing it, springing the trap at the right moment and into score. Cleared away downfield by Feeney, looking out to the right wing, and Williams can't get it there, but Clark runs onto the second ball. Strong tackle on him. Referee felt fair. Kelly managed to snap onto the follow-up tackle and get a shot away that I think was partially smothered by one of their defenders, and that meant it wasn't a too taxing save for the goalkeeper, but out of pretty much nothing there, Carlisle actually got a shot on goal again. Yeah, I mean, look, Yeovil have obviously done their homework. Clark is being crowded out as soon as he receives the ball. They know that they can't give him too much space in and around the box, and you got to say it's good defending from them. It has resulted in a Carlisle shot on target, but again, it's a little bit lucky, wasn't it? A little bit of a break from the tackle. But yeah, they're doing a decent job Yeovil at the back there on the 2 danger men for Carlisle.
A couple of players slipping. I just noticed Williams slipping as well there, and actually when Clark was tackled there was a real spray of sand, so I just wonder what the surface is like. It is cutting up a bit, isn't it?
It is. They just before the game the sprinklers out, and they were putting lots of water on the pitch.
Ball forwards to try and get in behind Carlisle. Feeney there first for United, gives it to Breeze. Takes a controlling touch, no one closing him down, so takes his time, lifts into the Yeovil half. Kelly managed to sort of make an effort of getting it down, but he just gave it straight to one of their men with his first touch on 50-60 yard ball, and that man was then fouled, and it's a free kick to the home side on halfway.
Yeah, you got to be so. It's a little bit concerning that on that second ball in the centre of the park, that Yeovil are the team to latch onto that second ball, whether it's somehow knocked down or whether they get first contact and win the ball. So we've got to be a little bit sharp in those areas, and then, if we can do that, if we can then gain possession, we can then control it and build that counter attack. But at the minute, Yeovil are first to the second ball.
Yeah, it's where United should have the extra man as well, isn't it? So it's a bit of a surprise that they keep doing that. By the way, in the Premier League, Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1, and Newcastle 1, Fulham 0, and Penrith 1, Easington 0. Connor Shields with the goal in the Northern League. Great news for Penrith, they're having a really good season. They're all our Northern League sides, incidentally, doing very well at the moment. Ball on the edge of the area for Yeovil, trying to find the angle for the shot on Carlisle's goal. Nice spin there on the edge from one of their midfielders, and the cross does come in from a deep position, but it drifts behind for a goal kick to United. One of the smaller Carlisle away followings, that to our right. What do you reckon, about 350, something like that? Just trying to guesstimate it.
It's got to be. I think if you know Yeovil and you've been here before, there's no roof on that back stand behind the goal, is there? So if the weather isn't great, which is touch and go a little bit today, you could get very wet. So yeah, I think you pick your game sometimes, don't you?
But it's amazing, isn't it, when you consider 350 this far away from Carlisle, this far from the home team, is one of their, and possibly their lowest away crowd of the season. Took 1,000 to Woking on the opening day, and selling out their away ends regularly here in the National League. And most, we often get double figures, not even triple figures, at Brunton Park from visiting teams this season. It's tremendous that 350 odd, maybe more, is that it might be their smallest away following of the season. No,
it's a great away following, isn't it? But again, great supporters as well, and you follow your club, you support them. That's what the team needs sometimes, especially when the games are tough and rough, and you just need that extra man, don't you? 350 here on away can possibly provide that.
It's tough and rough at the moment because Carlisle trail 1-0 here at Yeovil as Kelly thought he'd spun his man, but 1-0 managed to win out. Ball over the top. Hayden's going to have to get over there, and was careful, watched again very studiously the bounce of the ball and headed it away before the winger on that left hand side could pick it up.
Yeah, they change shape quite quickly, don't they, when they win possession and kind of go almost three at the back and push one on. So yeah, there is a quick transition there to get forward for Yeovil.
Trying to get that extra man into midfield, and maybe that's what's just unsettling United a little at the moment. There's work here for McAvoy and Hughes to do. Hughes in the director's box, of course, today with that touchline ban. McAvoy the man in the technical area. 1-0 will send away down the left here for Yeovil into the Carlisle half. Under it, Feeney and Campbell. Campbell wins it in field. Hayden with a little stab into the midfield, and they've got a break on down the right hand side here with the Fatty. They've not quite moved it quickly enough, and that meant that they've wound up losing out, but haven't lost the ball altogether. McCormack managed to keep it away from Linney there, who looked favoured to nick it. Now they tried to play it in behind, and it's a really good ball, but the winger coming in off the left is offside. And tell you what, he's kicked the ball away, and the Carlisle fans are saying, hang on a minute, that was way after the free kick was given, and he's spooned it onto the roof of the net in trying to take on a shot, and the ref goes and talks to him but doesn't book him.
Yeah, he's not very brash with those yellow cards, is he? I mean, there was the incident earlier with the studs up, wasn't there, which was a very high tackle. Hasn't brandished for the yellow card, and if he then goes and gives a yellow card for that, you've got to ask him a few questions, haven't you, I think?
Yeah, I quite like it when refs aren't card happy when they don't need to be. So a couple of things that could have been yellows but haven't, and it means that he's allowed the game to run a little, which is certainly working for Yeovil at the moment as Grant tries to play it forward in search of Williams for United. Edge of the area, Yeovil clear, good ball away to halfway. Feeney just lifts it back in, hoping that the fighting ball is something Kelly can win, but Williams is doing really well, the man on him, really well, and he actually gets the free kick despite winning the header. He reminds me of the Brazilian at the back. His look for Real Madrid, I can't remember his name, but he really looks like him, and he's playing a bit like him, really dominating Kelly, which is something you don't see very often.
No, I mean, I think he's slightly taller than Kelly, isn't he? He's decent in the air. I think Kelly's looking, that if he can't get a really good contact, he's looking to get right against him and make it as difficult as he can for him to get the first contact or get a good clear contact, and then you're looking off the second ball. But like we said previously, we haven't been sharp enough for that second ball, and more than often than not, Yeovil have won it.
Downfield with the free kick won by their centre half Williams, but the clearance away by the goalkeeper has just drifted out of play for a throw to United. In the wind, I think that is very much safe to say, isn't it, Chris? The wind just counting against the goalkeeper as he tried to lift that one forwards. Yeah, the wind's just picking up a little bit, and he just couldn't quite clear the halfway line on that occasion, so that's wind's playing a slight factor. Absolutely tormenting me who that player is. for Real Madrid, so I'm going to look that up in a minute. But here come Yeovil down the left-hand side in towards the edge of the penalty area. Campbell with the opportunity to play wide right when he might have looked for the angle to shoot. Greenslade forced infield. He's gone down very easily, and I'm very surprised the ref's gone with that. Given the free kick to Yeovil here, I just think that was shoulder strength there from Gilead, and the man fell very easily and gets the free kick. Yeah,
I think he's just got away from him though, and then there's I think there's either a push on his shoulder or certainly a hand in the back, and just enough right in front of the referee for him to give that free kick. It's in a dangerous area. The wind's against him though, you got to say. So it's whether he's going to engineer a set piece here, or he's going to try and hit the target.
Eder Militao is the player I'm thinking of, who he reminds me of. Really does look and play a bit like him, perhaps not as good as him, but it's just the way he moves around and the way he's fighting really in the battle with Kelly today.
I'm sure he'll love that comment if he hears it back today. He'll love that one.
Certainly will. Free kick taken short, lifted in behind Carlisle, trying to catch them out. 2 men at the back post. One of them is offside. Free kick to Carlisle United. Danger goes. By the way, both Boreham Wood and Rochdale still 0-0. So United just losing a point in those two above them right now. Plenty of time left for them to sort themselves out and get themselves from behind 2 ahead in this game. But they've got to make it happen. And right now, Yeovil are presenting and providing really good opposition to them.
Yeah, they are indeed. But again, nobody's really dominated the game, have they? Possession's been lost by both teams quite easily.
Feeney shrugged off the ball there as he looked to outmuscle one of their forwards, and Yeovil driving away to that left-hand side. Long run here, gone down under minimal contact from Williams, and this time the referee did ignore it. Now Williams has lost the ball, trying to run in between 2 men. He's giving it back to Yeovil on the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. Alua Abori has come a long way here, looking maybe for the give and go on the edge of the area. Jarvis works it out right hand side here to Greenslade, opens up the angle to try and get across in towards the back post, drifts beyond everyone, picked up left hand side by Nurse, sends it back into the Carlisle area. Feeney heads it up, not away, headed towards goal by one of their men, and he had to take it cleanly, and Breeze did. And then Campbell has got right involved there, and that was really bizarre actually. He almost gave Breeze in a headlock. He seemed to want to slow Breeze down, and he got a hold of him, and Breeze sort of shrugged him like by rotating his body, not getting his arms out, and he almost went over the top of him, and it was really weird.
Yeah, strange one that for sure. I'm not sure quite what happened then, but you got to say, great intent again from Yeovil. Whipped that ball in the box really early. Nobody made contact, went right through the other side. So they are looking to get the ball in the box whenever they can. Have we got to do better to stop crosses? I think we have really. It's that transition though that Yeovil have proved better at than we have really.
Yeah, they really have. And I tell you what, if that had squirmed out of Breeze's grasp there, Campbell was filling his boots. So United living again just a touch dangerously here, trailing by a goal to 0, and really struggling to get any sort of permanent foothold in the game. Not being outplayed per se, they're just not really asserting themselves on the match. Linney comes deep and swirls it around the corner for Williams to chase after. Can he keep this one in play? Not quite. Not even he's quick enough to get after that one. And after play it goes for a goal kick to Yeovil again. To the jeers around us, still Barrow 1, Barnet 0, and Yeovil 1, Carlisle 0 in our commentary games here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. In the Premier League, Newcastle leading 1-0 against Fulham. The goal from Jacob Murphy, who's had a real renaissance in his career when he looked like he was one of those who might be on the way out of Newcastle with all the influx of money. Garnacho had put Chelsea ahead, but Isidore's equalised for Sunderland in the other game. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1. 1-0 still here though to the Glovers against the Cumbrians, and it's the Glovers coming forwards up towards halfway. Grant gets on it, lays it off of Feeney, trying to work it out right hand side. I'm really surprised that wasn't a foul actually. The fullback all over Carlisle's winger, and the pair of them fell over with the fullback falling on top of the Carlisle man, but the ref again played on, and eager to do so, trying to get it in behind United once more, but Breeze should get out to it on the edge of the area. Awkward one, and Feeney had to jump over him as Breeze slid out.
Yeah, it's just held up in the wind, hasn't it? As the ball's been played through, so the goalkeeper's almost got that wrong.
Lifted down the left-hand side by Hayden, but their goalkeeper out together on the edge of the area, and bowls out quickly, and Yeovil will come at Carlisle again. 38th minute. Feeney own goal, the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, I think Carlisle are just a little bit too eager to get forward. If it's not on, try and keep possession. If you've got to turn out, you've got to play sideways just to keep possession and build it. Go and do it, but they just give the ball away a little bit too easily.
Grant a bit too much pressure on the back of Greenslade in that midfield again. I think that was a foul this time on Greenslade. He's not averse to going down under minimal contact, but I think Grant sort of shoulder into shoulder blades there. You're never going to get away with that one. So niggly free kick given just to the right of the centre circle in the United half.
Yeah, think he's just beat him, hasn't he? He's just got in front of him, so it's a nice one to give away because it's too far away from the goal to be that dangerous, isn't it?
Diagonal ball to the left wing from the right here, trying to get in behind Carlisle, and they picked out a man on the edge of the area. I think it's Jarvis, the central striker, who did well to kill that one. Winger on the left with quick feet, trying to find his way past Williams. In the end, feeds it to Nurse, the full-back, and he's given it to Davies, who pops it out of play for a Yeovil throw. Approaching the last 5 minutes of this first half. Again, Yeovil coming forwards at United, and they've been more than a match for them here. They lead, and they're about value for it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They've been better in possession, haven't they, in terms of the middle of the park, and certainly building the attack from wide areas.
Kelly really holding on to his man in the penalty area there on the far side, and that man got onto the ball and then lunged in a little bit, cross in, Hayden clears away. Just nervy moments. Can't help feeling the ref's going to give something here. Very sharp turn, Winnell, then plays it forwards. Campbell's gone down on the edge there, and Jarvis, I think it was, actually gone down on the edge, looking for the referee to give him the free kick. Referee not obliging. Crossfield ball brilliantly dealt with there by Con Clark on the edge of the area. Gets the shot away on his left foot, stings the palms of the goalkeeper, and there's a sort of a cheer actually rather than a jeer with that one. I think a bit of nervousness the way he killed that ball into him from Linney and worked the angle to shoot on his left foot. They were just glad it was down the keeper's throat and not into a corner.
No, absolutely great link-up play between Connie and Linney. There's no two ways about that. But again, you've got to give credit to Yeovil. How many numbers did they get back? Because at one point it was 2 versus 2, and by the time we got the shot on target, they had 5-6 men, sort of trying to crowd us out and stifle that attack. So yeah, they've been slightly better in and out of, in both transitions, in and out of possession, and that's probably been the difference so far, I think.
Tavon Campbell's just attempted a double drag back on the touchline, carried the ball out of play, and then turned to the referee appealing for something. The ref gave a throw into United.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can only get away with one of those, I think.
Oh, Feeney's giving the ball away, and they're running it hard at Carlisle United here with Oluwa Abore, edge of the area, shot away, always wide, set it too wide, but Feeney, he's turning and looking into the midfield. Gilead's holding a hand up of apology as the ball came in there. He was in a tight area, and he tried to just get what he could on it, Feeney, and just played it straight onto the Yeovil winger, and he had a clear run and goal, and he might have done better than that.
Yeah, I think he did, but I think it's not a great strike. I think he's actually kicked the ground as he's gone it, or it's maybe just took a little bobble as he's about to let it go, but nevertheless it's a let off.
Truro are 2-0 up at Gateshead, which is an absolutely fantastic scoreline for them. What isn't fantastic is for Barrow, who've had MJ Williams sent off whilst leading 1-0 at home to Barnet, and so are down to 10 men with more than half a game to deal with. That is not good news for the Bluebirds. And Penrith are now 2-0 up against Easington in the Northern League. Luke Hunter with the goal. Well, another goal. I don't even know how many he is. We'll find out at half time how many that is for the season, but he's having a blisteringly good season for Penrith. Throw in. Oh, that was clever and good defending. Really good actually from Greenslade, because the clever throw from Harper trying to release Linney while Yeovil were potentially napping. Another defender stepped across there and managed to get the clearance on it, and Yeovil clear further away now, and Hayden's the wrong side of his man, and he's holding a lot of Jarvis here. For me, yeah, I can see why the home fans are appealing for that. That should have been a free kick actually. Hayden now heads into the midfield. Gilead gets onto it, calming touch onto Harper, down the line. It's a nothing ball from Harper, but it's a nothing clearance from Yeovil, and Carlisle are quite fortunate to get possession back there.
Yeah, Harper didn't really have a lot of options in terms of playing the ball forward, because Linney hadn't got the right side of his man and was in an offside position, so didn't have a lot of options to play forward there.
Can you just spin it in behind the fullback maybe, especially with the wind coming that way? It would definitely hold up. Just wound up presenting it straight to Afete, but didn't do a great deal with it, did he? Throw down the line. Kelly holds off Afete, then manages to find the pass into Con Clark, shifts it to Harper on the left touchline. Good ball in from Harper to Kelly, and then he just sort of lost sight of his own feet, didn't he? And managed to miskick it, but Carlisle have got possession back on halfway, and then back into the central defence with Hayden. Gives it square to Feeney. Bright yellow captain's armband as he clips away out to Davies on the right wing. He heads in field, but the ball had gone out of play. It was a bit too lofted to him from Feeney, and it's a throw into Yeovil just inside their own half on the left.
Yeah, it's those positions and those times where you just want Carlisle to keep better possession. Don't force the play a little bit. Just if you've got to drop out a little bit, keep the ball moving to draw Yeovil out and create spaces to play through, down the sides and behind, then go and do it and have the confidence to do it. I know it's a bit difficult sometimes when you're 1-0 down, but equally you've got to be able to show that, I think, as well.
Flick down the line from Yeovil, and he gets Alou Abore going once again at Carlisle United. Gets towards the corner flag out on that left hand side, gets the cross in when United thought that they'd managed to force him away from danger. Linney got onto the clearance, plays it out to the right, and Davis will try and come forward, gives it back to Linney, just crossing halfway down the right, looking to feed Williams again. Williams is very fast, but Winnell's going to get there ahead of him, touches it away. Williams has just about shrugged him off possession there. That's really good work from Williams against a very strong man in Winnell. Carlisle onto it now with Linney trying to come forwards up towards the edge of the area, slaloming around men, tried the toe poke towards goal. They just had the bodies there, didn't they, to block it away. He got into an area where there was no real angle, and now Jarvis has shrugged his man off the ball. Little nutmeg goes down. Hayden might be the first player in the book here, and I think he's going to be. Jarvis got around, and there was a bit of danger there for Carlisle, and he just made sure one way or another Jarvis wasn't getting past him, and yellow card it is to Aaron Hayden. It was, and I think he had to foul him in the end, because he'd just done him, hasn't he? Just gone on the onside of Jarvis, and I think we're outnumbered, you know, as they've countered, and you know, from the Carlisle attack. So yeah, I think he's had to take that one on the chin, really, because if he'd have gone inside and slipped the ball through, he could have been in bigger trouble than we already are, I think. And that's right from United almost having an opportunity. You know, they're almost in, and you know, a little toe poke towards goal from Linney. They cannot get themselves in. Half time in the Cumbrian derby. Kendal 24, Penrith 12 in our rugby union this afternoon. We'll get you more on that at half time in this game, and we're not far off it. About 30 seconds of the first 45 to go as the free kick goes across the edge of the area, and in the end Gilead clears. It was an underwhelming mishit free kick, wasn't it? But it actually caused a little bit of havoc. They've got it out to the left again, trying to get around Davis. The man's gone down very easily again there. It's that man Tavan Campbell, and he's shown a real proneness to going down under limited contact, and the referee, I think, has got his number. He has, but I think they've worked it to effect, haven't they, Yeovil? So when there has been any contact, you know, they have drawn quite a few fouls, haven't they, in and around the area. So maybe that's something they have worked on. I'm not really sure, but he's gone down very easily there. Yeah, ref just shook his head at that one. Breeze on the ball for Carlisle. 1 additional minute here as Kelly brings the ball down on his chest. Sort of pinged off his sternum there, didn't he? But he managed to retrieve it. Gives it to Davies on the right. Williams just ahead of him. Pushes it past his man, trying to go the long way around him into that penalty area. Goes down, and the ref immediately crisscrosses his hands to say no penalty. I'll tell you what, it was a talking point there. He certainly felt it was something he needed to make a call on the referee. Let the players know he wasn't thinking about it. Drove in between them there, Williams, didn't he? And made it difficult for Yeovil, but they've managed to get away with that one a little, or overcome it certainly. On halfway, right hand side here, final minute of this first half, the stoppage time, just 1 minute of it. It's Yeovil coming forwards once more. Offside flag goes up against Greenslade as Grant was up pressurising him, and it's a free kick to United on the edge of the area, and I expect that would just about be it. Yeah, I think Williams has definitely got the paces, and he's trying to use it. Whether he's threading the balls in behind for himself, or whether, you know, he's working off somebody else threading the balls in, he's definitely highlighted that as a weakness of Yeovil. Unfortunately, on that occasion, I don't think he was close enough to the ball, was he, when he got contact and went down for the referee to give him anything in his favour. So yeah, but he's definitely got the pace. I might be likely to switch the two wingers over, though, you know, just to try and unlock the door a little bit, because something needs to change a little bit, because it hasn't really quite worked, has it? No, something just, I don't know whether the wind will change things, the sun will change things, I don't know what, but you know, something just needs to fall a bit for Carlisle. It doesn't quite feel like they're connecting enough in this first half, and they trail by a goal to nil, and officially it has been given as a Morgan Feeney own goal. I still couldn't see when I watched the analyst's sort of view of it a couple of times. That analyst just sprinting down the steps is going to hurdle the barrier and carry a laptop across into the changing room so the Carlisle coaching staff can have a look through what's been going on in that first half. Important part of data in football, of course, these days. The only data that really matters, though, is that it's Yeovil 1, Carlisle 0. It is, and you got to say, I think, if you looked at the whole game, or whole first half anyway, I think Yeovil have probably edged it. Definitely better in transition going forward. I don't think Carlisle have really been great on the second balls. You got to say that Yeovil have done well in terms of holding the ball up, you know, in areas that are dangerous and bringing other people into the play. But we just haven't quite been at the race, have we, today, really? We certainly haven't used our best players to effect. But you've got to give credit to Yeovil because they're defending really well. In transition means when you're quickly turning defence into attack, doesn't it, or vice versa, and it's how you react in those circumstances. I think one of Carlisle's previous managers, Mike Williamson, used to talk about it a lot, and I think it used to drive the Carlisle fans mad because he'd always gone about the game. This game's going to be won in transition, and then he'd start talking about XG, and I think the Carlisle fans sort of just switched off, I guess. But you're essentially talking about when they are defending and then they quickly get down the other end. 100%, yeah. That word transition, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's a new word, isn't it? I guess in the football world, but it's the counter attack really, and it's how quickly you react
react to it. If you get more bodies forward than they do and they don't react quicker and get bodies behind the ball, then you've got an advantage, you've got an overload, and that's where you can be dangerous. So that's basically what it means, I think, isn't it? But transition is that ugly word
it
a lot of fans don't like.
Oh, but there are loads of them now. You've just done, I don't know whether it's just, but you've done your coaching licenses and things, so you'll know about things like the low block and things like the double pivot. You mean the two anchoring midfielders, all of these sort of nouveau whatever terms in football. Anyway, enough about those. Anyone stood out in particular for Yeovil? It's just felt to me more of a collective effort than any particular stars.
Yeah, I think Jarvis has done really well, hasn't he? He's really held the ball up. He's caused problems for the back four, and brought other people into play. I think he's been decent. I think the wingers been decent as well. Afete's been good when he's been joining the attack, but ultimately they've just been a little bit sharper on second balls, and kind of dominated possession in a way that we haven't really. We've kind of relied on just getting the ball forward, sometimes without any intent, or just to get it there or get it anywhere. But I'd really love to see Carlisle kind of retain possession and be a little bit more patient with it. Yeah, sometimes you've got to break quick, but if the players aren't there, there's no one to play it to, and you end up giving possession away, and that's been a difference, I think, with both teams.
I've really enjoyed Jake Winnell at the back. Sometimes your eye is drawn to his amazing blonde hair, isn't it? But he actually is very composed and has done a really good game. Came in from Taunton, he's had quite a few years in non-league football after coming through at Exeter. 31, but very composed and calm at the back for them. Yeah,
I think both the centre halves look good and composed, don't they? And they can certainly play as well. I think Kelly's got to do a little bit better to stop them playing. Because they have played the ball around the back and kept possession. A little bit too much for my liking. If Kelly's up there and he's on his own, all he's got to do is sit in between, don't let him play around, and just keep him one way, and that way you can get set, you can get pressure on the ball when it does go forward, and that's where you win your possession, and that proved really, really effective for Carlisle in the last game, certainly.
Yeah, I've been raving about Georgie Kelly in recent games, how well he is and how good he looks. A player who a lot of fans at Championship at the time, Rotherham, wanted to see them keep when he came to Carlisle United, but at the moment he's been outclassed by the man down the other end, Aaron Jarvis, who's managing to be much more of a focal point for Yeovil than Kelly, under a lot of pressure around him from big strong centre halves, is managing to be for Carlisle United. So real work to do here. Carlisle are the only team who scored, unfortunately, off Morgan Feeney. It was in their own net, and they trail 1-0 at the interval here at Hewish Park.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it, by any stretch of the imagination? Has the approach been wrong in that first half? Have they been too passive, too cautious?
I mean, look, the danger men, I think Yeovil have definitely done the harder work, because I think they've isolated the danger men and made it very, very difficult for us. So, Con Clark, they're doubling up on him and getting numbers around him when he receives the ball, sort of inside or between lines. Linney, when he's got the ball out wide, instead of going and pressing him, they're allowing him to come inside, but just delaying him slightly allows them to get numbers in. So when he does cut inside, he's running into traffic, and he's losing possession. You can see the frustration on his face. He's had quite an unproductive day, really. But Yeovil have defended really well against the two danger men. Williams has done all right down the right hand side. He's certainly got the pace to unlock the door, but we haven't got the ball to him often enough, or give him the right pass. Often it's been a little bit too long. It's run out of play, and he's been a little bit effective in the game because of that. But definitely Yeovil have done the hard work, and for me, looked after the two danger men for Carlisle.
I feel Williams getting away down the right onto the right ball, Paul, getting near the byline and cutting it back to a Kelly or Linney coming in at the back post could be the key for Carlisle. It doesn't feel like one that they're going to sort of play in passing triangles through the middle, through Yeovil. The pitch, the conditions, the congestion in there because of the tightness of it just doesn't quite lend to it. So I think it's going to be raiding power down those wing areas. Linney either to produce something or Williams maybe to get to that byline and actually get onto one and get the pass into him right so he can cut back and Carlisle can capitalise. But yeah, this is I'll tell you what, we said this, you've got to be careful with teams like this. Yeovil have come out probably feeling like it's a bit of a free hit for them with the aura around Carlisle in this division, and they've really gone after United here without fear, and they've been really good, and they justly lead 1-0.
Yeah, Robin Wigton says, here we go, get everyone believing, then they do this. Anonymous says, losing battles all over the pitch, maybe wheeling on at half-time as Grant and Gilead isn't working. And Surrey Bruce says Yeovil are here for the taking, but a lack of energy, coherence and desire is killing us. A gifted goal, where was Breeze? Says Surrey Bruce. The Carlisle United definitely need to improve in the second half. They trail by 1-0 at Yeovil Town in the first of our two commentary games this afternoon on DAB Plus and on Media Wave. Barrow leading out the break, but that's not the full story. Adam Johnson and Chris Beard.
Yeah, half-time here at Holker Street, and Barrow do have that 1-goal lead courtesy of Josh Gordon's second goal of the season. It came after a great bit of build-up play. Ben Whitfield feeding it out to the right-hand side. Connor Mahoney made a fantastic run, completely outpacing the Barnet defence, pulled the ball back into the box for Josh Gordon to tuck away his second of the season, probably the easiest goal that Josh Gordon will probably ever score to put Barrow in front. They've had chances to add to that. Isaac Fletcher taking advantage of a bit of hesitancy from the Barnet keeper Owen Evans, pulled the ball back to Josh Gordon on the edge of the box, but his shot just lacked the conviction to get away from Tavares, who stood on the goal line to make the block and clear. Other than that, they've had half opportunities. Isaac Fletcher stinging the palm of Owen Evans with an opportunity towards the near post. Crosses in the box, which Barnet have very much struggled against the conditions. A very strong swirling wind, and Barrow very much were looking at a case of feeling that they should be more than 1 goal up going in at the break. The big talking point, unfortunately though, happened on the 40th minute, a coming together between MJ Williams and Idris Kanu on the halfway line. Looked like nothing in it, but then MJ Williams swung an arm into the face of Idris Kanu, who dropped to the ground, and deservedly so. The referee Declan Brown left with no choice but to brandish the red card, and Barrow down to 10 men. And very much, Craig, you'd imagine, with the fact that they're going to be against the wind in the second half as well, it's not what Barrow needed going in at the break.
No, it's a big blow, and it's a very uncharacteristic blow as well, isn't it? With how experienced MJ Williams is. But fingers crossed now. They've seen that they can do it away from home against 10 men. So hopefully they can do it at home today. But they certainly don't want to be making a habit of finishing games with 10 men and having to hold on. Yeah, very much a big battle for them in the second half. As I say, against a swirling wind which caused Barnet no end of trouble in the first half. You do imagine that it will be very much the same for Barrow in the second, but they do have that 1-goal lead to defend at the break. Yeah, they've got they've got something to defend here.
Okay, apologies to Craig. I think I called you Chris in that introduction. But yeah, Barrow are going to have to do it the hard way, aren't they, to hold on to that lead. 1-0 against Barnet at the break. Kevin is a Barrow fan. Terrible action by MJ. Could not see what their player did to provoke it. Great opening goal, Kevin says. Barnet don't look that good at the back. But Barrow again with 10. Is that 4 times already this season? They may rue the missed chances, especially the open goal that stopped a yard short. Need to dig deep, says Kevin. In the Ashes series at Wembley, England trailing Australia by 14 points to 0. 62 minutes played in that first Ashes test match. Let's head into the Northern League and hear about a good half of Penrith against Easington Collieries at French Hill Park. Gary Woodworth.
Yes, Penrith 2, Easington 0 at half-time. 2 goals coming in the last 17 minutes of the first half. Luke Hunter finding space down the left-hand side. First of all, the cut back to Connell Shields, who was inside the 6-yard box. Couldn't miss, really didn't, into the roof of the net for 1-0 on 28 seconds later. Leading scorer Luke Hunter netted again, but the flag was already up from the assistant on the far side. I think in the end handball was given. Then it became 2-0 on 37. Another burst through the heart of the Eastern Colliery defence. Luke Hunter credited with the goal, which would be his 18th for the season, although the final touch probably came off defender Ord on the line. As far as Eastern go, well, most of the chances have come from distance from outside the Penrith area. Not really got the sight sets. Probably the best effort. Liam Adamson, terrific ball to find him inside left channel, cut back inside, but produced a tame effort in the end. We'll see what they're worth in the second half. Penrith in control though at half time. They lead by 2-0.
Elsewhere, Carlisle City are currently 1-1 with Horden Colliery. Let's hear about the top of the table clash. Second against third, Whitley Bay against Kendal Town. Dave Parkinson.
Yes, currently 0-0 at half-time here. Got to say, though, lots and lots of chances, half chances for both sides. And if you look down the Kendal Town line-up, then the best chances have gone the way of Jamie Looker and particularly Josh Winder. He's been whipping plenty of crosses in from the right-hand side. And at this moment in time, it's just unfortunate that nobody's been really able to fully connect with them in the 6-yard box. The nearest that it's come to breaking the deadlock here came in the 17th minute. It was a driving run through the middle from James Bailey, and then he put a great pass into Jason Walker, and it was almost as if Walker had too much time. He cannoned his shot off the crossbar, and it ended up being cleared. At the other end, they've survived a couple of half chances themselves of Kendalltown, thanks to some excellent defending from the likes of Bailey Kenny, and Chris Cheatham's saved them a couple of times in goal with a couple of low dives, particularly against Mackenzie Sharp. But at the moment, it is Whitley Bay 0, Kendalltown 0 at half time.
And it's level as well in our game in North West Counties. Hull Coral Boys 1, Main Road 1. Let's head to Minbridge, Regional 1 North East, the Cumbrian derby. Kendall against Penrith. Kendall in control as things currently stand. John Gibson.
Yeah, well, they are at the moment. We're just into the second half, but the half-time score was Kendall 21, Penrith 12. 3 tries in the first 27 minutes, all converted, meant that Kendall went into a 21 points to 0 lead. But then the last 10 minutes of the first half, they really let Penrith back into it with some casual errors in defence. 2 tries, one by Luthwaite, one by Kirkup, got Penrith on the board, and it was 21-12 at the break. It's now 24-12. A penalty by Evan Moyer at the start of the second half has just given Kendall an extra 3 points there, and it's all to play for. It's a good game. It's boiling up really nicely into this second half now. Kendall really should have had more points. They've let 1 or 2 chances stay out there on the park, but Penrith are certainly still in this game as they try and break through midfield. Cracking derby, good encounter, penalty just coming to Penrith. 8 minutes played in the second half. Kendall 24, Penrith 12.
Some Carlisle United reaction at the break coming in to X at BBC Cumbria Sport. Bedlington CUFC not at the races at all. Linney, Kelly and Con Clark might as well be sat on the bench. They've done nothing. Matt on their X. Sounds like a really poor first half. Big 45 minutes coming up. It would be typical Carlisle result to lose here though. Phil Bell from the Carlisle Social, sounds like we're struggling to get anything going here, and they've got lots of time on the ball. Are we too slow? And Fish Island Blues not got going at all. Breeze never at fault for that goal, by the way. Carlisle need to get out of first gear. Pitch doesn't look great, but we need to step it up more in the second half. Could this be a game for Armstrong and Wern? Elsewhere in the Premier League, it is currently at half-time. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1, Newcastle United leading Fulham by 1-0 at St James's Park. Jacob Murphy with the only goal of that first half. In the Championship from earlier today, Coventry beat Watford 3-1, Ipswich beat West Brom 1-0, and Stoke were 1-0 winners at Portsmouth. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs at the break, it's Blackburn 0, Southampton 1, Bristol City lead Birmingham by 1-0. It's Derby 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0, goalless Hull against Charlton, Middlesbrough 0, Wrexham 1, Millwall lead Leicester by 1-0. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Oxford 2, and Swansea 1, Norwich 1. In League 2 at the break, Barnet trailing 1-0 at Barrow, as we've been hearing, but Barrow down to 10. Bromley 0, MK Dons 1, Crawley 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Bristol Rovers down to 10. Crewe 2, Grimsby 1, Gillingham 1, Cambridge 2, Oldham 0, Shrewsbury 0, back underway there. Swindon 0, Colchester 0, and Tranmere 0, Chesterfield 1. And at the break in the National League, it is Braintree 0, Altrincham 0, Eastleigh and Morecambe goalless. Forest Green lead Boreham Wood by 1-0. Gateshead 0, Truro 2, Hartlepool 1, Solihull 0, Scunthorpe 2, Aldershot 1, Southend and Brackley are goalless. Wealdstone 1, Sutton 2, Woking and Rochdale is goalless, and Yeovil, as we've been hearing in our commentary game on FM, currently 1-0 up against Carlisle United.
Secret Cumbria.
What would you say is the typical owner of a steam traction engine?
You've got to be a bit eccentric, I think, haven't you? I don't know. Mad. Different, yeah, not your average person, is it really?
The quirky.
And somebody who appreciates the history and, you know, what Great Britain's all about, where we've come from, how it got there.
The hidden past.
Our way of sort of going back to what we call the good old days, isn't it? I mean, simple things are maybe best, aren't they?
Listen now on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to Hewish Park. Where the teams have come out really quickly and got back underway here. They've caught us all out, but it's gone out for a throw into Yeovil in the left back position. So we're just a few seconds into this second half, and United 1-0 down, but work to do. But hopefully they'll find their way, because it was a bit of a non-entity the first half, Chris Beard, for United.
Yeah, let's hope the management's given them a little bit of a rocket, because it was a bit of a non-start, wasn't it? That and Yeovil aren't the best team you'll see this year by a long stretch.
No, they really aren't. So United need to do a lot better, in particular in that midfield. Just find a way to get a stranglehold there, and man held on to Hayden. I thought he was holding Hayden round the other way around. Hayden's fallen onto the top of them in the tangle. The ball had gone, and the referees erred in Jarvis's favour, which I thought was, I don't know, Chris, what do you see?
It's 6 or half a dozen of the other, isn't it? But you've got to say that Jarvis is an exceptionally well first half holding that ball up. It's going to be a little bit different now, isn't it? Because the wind's behind the ball, so whether they still go into the front man to hold it up, or whether they try and go in behind, would be strange. But nevertheless, them two have had a right battle today.
Yeah, really ding-dong between Hayden and Jarvis as Yeovil try the crossfield ball out to the right wing. Kelly back for United, defending away, touching field from Linney. Then Linney taken out. He seems to have taken something to the face there as he went after that one on the return ball. Carlisle appealing. Linney not getting any sympathy again from the referee. United work it to Williams on the right touchline. Tries to flick it inside and gets it back off Grant. What can he do down this right? That's a foul, isn't it?
I don't think he's won the ball there, has he? But I think because the touch was so slight, so slow, the referee's missed it.
Yeah, the ball just drifted out for a throw in. It should have been a throw into Yeovil, not Carlisle, or a foul to Carlisle. But anyway, they've split the difference and gone with a United throw. Con Clark gets the ball under a lot of contact and pressure, and kicked up the back of the leg there, and he's really unhappy to the referee, and the referee's given it, but he was kind of had acquiesced, didn't he, to Con Clark. He didn't look like he wanted to give it, and I think the home fans frustrated.
Yeah, look, if you look for them fouls all the time, the referee works out eventually. But look, I think Yeovil, again, we talked about them targeting the two danger men, and they're having a little nick at him all the time.
Con Clark ball in towards Kelly on the edge of the area, and he got a shot of sorts away. Didn't really entirely commit to the shot, almost just tried to guide it towards goal, and goalkeeper got down and saved it. It was a half decent chance, that one. To very little from the free kick in Con Clark. Feeney heads away. Con Clark gets it under control on halfway. Man all around him. Goes down again, Con Clark. Gilead gets on the ball for United and back into Hayden, centre of defence. No changes for United at half time. Linney gets on the ball now out on the left wing, but his touch carries it out of play. Little nudge as well, almost took him into the advertising hoardings, and I think it's a solid concrete wall, isn't it? The perimeter wall around the pitch here, which I think with some of the recent stories we've seen, you'd hope that they are going out of football sooner rather than later. Yeovil on it at the back, so United with Davies right back, Harper left back, Hayden and Feeney middle of defence, in goal Breeze, anchoring midfielders are Grant and Gilead, number 10 is Con Clark, Linney left wing, right wing Williams, Kelly down the middle. Plenty of options on the bench. It's like the Yeovil man handled that one actually as he tried to get it under control there. The referee, I think the ref might have just given that. Good spot actually from the ref, that. Given the free kick to United rather than the throw.
Yeah, I think although he's done all right in the first bit where he's chested it down, it's then come off his chest and hit his arm, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, Grant turned into the tackle there and was, good strength to ride the tackle, but did turn into it. Managed to keep possession for United. Con Clark's lost it again in that midfield. They've wrestled him off it once more. Ball given to Harper from Hayden in a tight area. Lunged in on Grant there, and the referee happy for play to go on, and then he's given it laterally, which is really frustrated, and they're really unhappy here about that tackle, the Carlisle players. Con Clark urging his teammates in towards him. It was a real lunging on Grant, wasn't it? He's getting back up. I think he's alright, but for a moment you were worried there was a bit of an injury there.
Yeah, I think he showed his studs, hasn't he, as he's gone in for the tackle, but the referee's right there again, isn't he? But he really didn't want to get it. But again, you said you like referees that let the game flow a little bit, and the referee's definitely letting that happen.
Yeah, that just smacked more of hesitancy, which I think troubles you, doesn't it, on the pitch, whether the referee really knows his own mind.
Especially when there's a key decision or a big decision to make, you want him to be absolutely spot on.
Free kick to Carlisle, just over halfway on the left touchline. Harper over it, will try and swirl it into the clutch of players on the edge of the area. Kelly tries to get around his man, but it's won at the back by Williams, the Aiden Militao look-alike and play-alike for Yeovil at the back. Harper gets on it in their half, lunging on him sort of off the ball. They're tenacious, aren't they? They're going after Carlisle. There's sort of no reputational respect or anything. They're lunging in on players, leaving one on them and 1 or 2 on them as Breeze fires away downfield out towards the left wing. Harper jumps, shrugged off the ball though. Good strength tackle there from the Yeovil man. They'll try and get him behind Carlisle again here, driving out of midfield, out to the right wing. Yeovil, hooped green and white shirts, raining forwards, including down the right with Fetty, the right back, sends the cross in towards the near post. Hayden calmly half volleys it away downfield. More goals to tell you about in just a moment. Eastleigh 1, Morecambe 0 as Yeovil send the cross in towards goal again. Little nudge in the back there from Campbell, not seen by the officials, and Williams has to just hook it away for Carlisle. Clark gives chase, but Winnell will take control of the situation. Passes calmly into the midfield. Nice body swirl in there from the number 25 in that midfield. That was Joe Leaf, the one who's coming on loan from Colchester. That was lovely the way he led Kelly away from the ball. Fired up field by Yeovil. Carlisle stab it away and it's a throw-in, but at the moment nothing's changed. We're 6 minutes into this second half and the tone is still with Yeovil at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said tenacious, aren't they? When the ball's in the middle of midfield, they're fighting, they're battling, scrapping, they're getting the tackles in and winning possession, and that's a little bit of a difference in the two teams at the minute, and certainly central of the park. But also as well, they've been productive in wide areas as well, haven't they? It's 2 crosses that they've got in the early stages of this first half, and you got to say the momentum at the minute is with Yeovil.
Rochdale still 0-0. Some good news is that Boreham Wood also trail like Carlisle, but Scunthorpe have taken the lead and are up to second. United down to 5th at the moment. Not that it necessarily matters after 16 games, but staying contention at the top of the table is key for Carlisle, and picking up points against the team she's supposed to is going to be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, 100%. You want to keep that momentum going as well. You'd rather be at the top of the table than anywhere else, because at least there you've got a fantastic base to kind of push on and build from. But again, this is proving a very difficult game for the Carlisle 11 out there.
It really is. Goal kick downfield for Breeze for United. Out to the left wing. Kelly in a right fight there with Williams. And just to win on this occasion. Gilead hit as he played the ball there. That's another one that I kind of like it. I wish it was happening from Carlisle to them, but just as he played the ball there, just hit so that he knew that he'd been whacked, and he'll be frustrated after. Again, another one lunging in at his feet there, managed to ride that one, driving down the left. It's a good run this from Gilead, still going against Defetti down that left hand side, lays it off and gets throwing off his man. Really good. That's much better from Gilead. Need to see more of that. Throwing comes in off the left. Harper sends it into the penalty area. Kelly trying to get off his man, drops it to Williams at the back post for United, picks out Grant on the edge of the area. He goes backwards to Davies. Carlisle send the ball in again towards goal. Header from their man, and then the next one up to the edge of the area. Clark brings it down. Can he make something happen for United on the edge? Great ball out to Williams on the right here. Can he beat his man and get the cross in? Gives it to Davies. Passes first time towards Gilead on the edge of the area, and Yeovil managed to get the volleyed clearance in. Feeney's got wrong side of his man, managed to get the right side of him again, but Campbell got the touch on it but carried the ball out to play. It's a throw into United on halfway.
Yeah, far better play by Carlisle, wasn't it? It's just unfortunate that the last cross in that final phase from Davis was a poor one, and it's let Yeovil off the hook a little bit because it was all Carlisle.
Carlisle creeping down the line, and the Yeovil fans trying to draw the ref's attention to it. Goes down the line in search of Williams. Good defending from Nurse. Barrow, I'm just hearing, are 1-1. Barnet have equalised at Holker Street. As Clark gets on the ball, flicks it round the corner to Williams. Again, though, strength of numbers sees Yeovil come out on top of the ball. Grant wins it back though, middle of the Yeovil half for United. Gives it infield to Gilead. Back to Gilead on that right hand side, the two exchanging. Williams tries to pass infield, finds Linney, edge of the area, chops back onto his right, onto his left, gets the shot away, always drifting beyond that back post, but a goal kick. You're nodding along there, you like his footwork, but just couldn't quite get enough on the shot.
That's it, it's just on his weaker foot, isn't it? But you've got to say, it's much better possession football. It's quick, it's short passing, it's unlocking the doors a little bit, but again, when the ball's come inside there to Linney, he's just on his weaker foot, isn't he? And he just can't get enough whip on it to get it past that, just get it inside that far post, and it's a Yeovil goal kick.
At least 2 or 3 of his 11 goals have been on the left foot, but just from the edge of the area there, it felt like it was asking a bit too much of him.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get enough whip on it, could he, just to cause the goalkeeper a problem.
55th minute. Still way more than half an hour of this game to go for United, probably 40 minutes with stoppage time. So Feeney's lost out on the challenge there, and Davies really wanted Breeze to come out. Breeze very much stuck on his line there, just can be a little bit hesitant in rushing out there. It's part of the sort of eccentricity of some goalkeepers, isn't it? But on that occasion, Davies, you could see in a tight area, man right up his backside, didn't necessarily trust the back pass, but had to deploy it in the end back to Breeze, who cleared and shanked it out for a throw.
Yeah, and they're proving very difficult to play against, aren't they? They're not a soft touch like they were in the last 2 games, so they've obviously changed that Yeovil and a very difficult team to break down.
1L long ball forward, Carlisle appealing for the offside. Flag didn't go up there, I think it should have done. Winger jinking left foot and right foot here on the left hand side, finds a teammate, edge of the area, shot towards goal, double ricochet, picked up again by the winger Alua Abori. Shirt tug on him from Davies, shot came in, deflected, Carlisle clear through Hayden, Kelly trying to get onto it, strong tackle, Grant can't get the next touch either, Carlisle head away but just giving possession back to Yeovil. Harper trying to get there and stop his man, but his man's got around him. Harper's done really well to recover though, get back on the ball and draws the foul out. Really good work from Harper there.
Yeah, good defending from Harper, hasn't he? He's just managed to get his body in, the correct side of the ball, or goal side of the ball, and just drew the foul in. So it's good defending from them. But it just gives, Carlisle another chance, because they're under the cosh again. Yeovil, the no mugs, they're good in and around the area. And you got to say it was a great block tackle again from the shot, wasn't it?
Forest Green are leading elsewhere in the National League. That's moving them back up above Carlisle after defeat against them last weekend in Cumbria. All of this, of course, on the basis that United currently trail here by 1-0 at Yeovil. It's gone down into the own goal for Feeney, but what we're hearing around here, whether it will change now, it's sort of officially gone down as an own goal or not, I don't know, but what we're hearing is that Feeney maybe headed it onto the striker. Very high tackle that on Leany, and it probably should have been the striker's goal, but whatever, Carlisle are behind as Davis has done well to spin left and right, goes back towards his goalkeeper, and again Breeze slices the ball and it will land in amongst the fans down below us here.
Yeah, Yeovil are doing all right. They're not giving us any time on the ball, are they? And when we are forcing it back to the goalkeeper on the second occasion there, he's not cleared it with any sort of purpose and giving them the momentum.
Great touch from that young man there as the ball bounced over the wall to him. Just first time straight back, one crisp pass to the Yeovil player. That was really good work from him. He'll remember that for a while. Little moments like that sort of set you on your path in football, as Yeovil completely missed their pass across the midfield and Carlisle get the ball in the left back position. Grant, it wasn't a great throw to Grant from Harper, was it? And he had to head it back to Harper very high, and Carlisle have lost possession from their own throw. It was a hurried, rushed throw that squandered possession. Con Clark held on to the ball, held off his man until he was fouled, and a free kick given to United.
Yeah, it's just in those positions. He's done really well to retain the ball, retain possession, but the defensive line is still really tight to him. You've got to drop off to give yourself enough space so he can give you the ball and you can go and play again. So just sometimes recognising them moments when to stay where you are, when to drop off, keep the ball a little bit better.
I'm reading, I'm sure we'll get confirmation of this, that hang on, here come Carlisle forwards here with Williams, edge of the area, trying to pick out a teammate, went for the pass to Kelly, just never looked like he was ever going to shoot, did he? And Kelly didn't get there. Yeovil cleared. Yeovil have let the ball go across them again though for a soft Carlisle throw. Barrow 2-1 down, I'm reading. Home to Barnet, having led but then having a man sent off. Bit of a disaster at the moment for the Bluebirds and United. It's not going to be a very fun weekend review from the Total Sport lineup at 6 on Monday, unless Carlisle and Barrow can turn things around. Paul's saying it's still 1-1 in the studio, but the shot towards goal here for Carlisle, squirm behind for a corner. Yeah, all the websites I'm looking at are saying that it's now 2-1 to Barnet, but not according to the actual people listening to the game back in Carlisle. So we'll keep you posted on that one. 1-1 officially right now.
Interesting.
Corner taken quickly by Carlisle on the far side, edge of the penalty area. Linney trying to go through the legs of his man, gets a shot of sorts towards goal, and Carlisle the ball just didn't break kindly for them. Oh, Davis has lunged in now, and now he's left his man Williams here, 1-on-1 against the winger trying to come forwards here. Alua Bore trying to go around the two men. United have got back in. Davis has come back to help out. In the end, Carlisle make one tackle. Alua Bore trying to find the angle for the shot. Really strong tackle on him from Williams, and Carlisle come away with the ball. Thankfully, they weren't punished there, but he made a bit of a crash decision, didn't he, to lunge in on it there and try and intercept Davies, and missed it. And for a moment, it was 1-on-1.
Exactly that. That's a poor decision, isn't it? Really, if you can't do that, leave it, let him have it. Then work your way back behind the ball to get men beyond and create that 2v low overload in your favour. But on that occasion, it didn't, and it almost cost them.
McAdam coming on shortly for Carlisle United, might be coming now actually, and it looks like it's Junior Lawamba coming on as well. He looks small, doesn't he, Lawamba, at 6'2", but you would do next to the towering McAdam. First change is Gilead coming off for McAdam. And who is Lawamba coming on for? And I wonder, will it just be Williams? That would seem the most obvious. It is Williams off for Lawamba. So there are your two changes. McAdam will bring more legs and physicality into that midfield. And Gilead being taken off. So the sign of the times, when he came in initially for United, he was absolutely orchestrating that midfield, but just another game today where he struggled to assert his influence.
Yeah, that's been a difference, certainly in the first half. I mean, look, Carlisle have done better as this game's gone on in the second half, had a little bit more possession, worked some more opportunities, but there's two changes here. Let's see how the boys do.
Gateshead have got one back against Truro. Gateshead 1, Truro 2. Excellent performance thus far from the Cornish side, and likewise the side from Somerset here against Carlisle, because Yeovil lead 1-0 and they're coming forwards again down the right wing, but Hayden's got across it and goes down. The referee, well, it's got caught under Aaron Hayden. In the end, the referee's given the free. It was a weird one, that, and he's actually going to give a yellow card to the Yeovil man, I think, for his protestations. But again, it was kind of peculiar refereeing, and I feel a bit bad for Greenslade there, because he didn't initially give the foul when Hayden sort of did that thing that they do where you get your body in the way and you fall a bit weakly on top of the ball. But then as the man kicked at the ball under Hayden, he gave the free kick, and it's almost a surprise he did that. You'd have thought once the ref didn't give the initial one, he'd have to let that go.
Exactly that. I mean, it was a foul in the first instance, but again, the ref's not quick to make a decision, and he's delayed it a little bit. So you can understand Greenslade's frustration there. I mean, a yellow card really from that. So he's obviously said something that's been very derogatory towards the referee, but you can understand his frustration. But nevertheless, it was a free kick.
It collapsed to the floor like a toddler, didn't he? And we should both know, because we're both, well, kind of a bit older than toddlers now, aren't they? But we've been through that cycle quite recently, you and I, Chris. And yeah, the way that Greenslade went down there was kind of quite amusing, really, as Con Clark's done brilliantly there in a tight area to spin, having held his man off the ball. McAdam gives it back to him, but midfielder's done really well to shrug and make the tackle for Yeovil. Carlisle get a throw in the right back position, winning it back there. McCormick managing to win the ball where others couldn't for the Glovers.
Yeah, just got to shift that ball into. We're better in wider areas, and we're getting cancelled out in midfield. So we've just got to shift that ball a little bit quicker.
Drilled one forward. Oh, that's come off the hand of the Yeovil defender. Carlisle trying to play it quickly in behind here, and the flag stays down. Linney's tried to catch out the goalkeeper. It was clever from Linney, but it has drifted through, and the goalkeeper was able to get back to it.
Yeah, why not? It was definitely worth a try, wasn't it? The referee's allowed the quick one, but he almost drew it back as well, didn't he? So again, he's not really making a quick decision.
No. I think in amongst all of that there is the Yeovil man's gone down. That was a bit of a dive actually from Jarvis, and he celebrates as he gets back up there, but I think he just threw himself down there, and the referee maybe felt that he had to give something Yeovil's way. Did I just hear that Barrow are now definitely confirmed as 2-1 behind? They are. Barnet have scored. So either Barnet have time travelled, or this website has time travelled. Something happened there where they looked like they were ahead, and now they are ahead. So Barnet do lead 2-1 at Barrow. Yeovil have done the obligatory. Everyone's getting a bit tired and the game's getting a bit stretched. Someone's gone down with a injury.
It's just that game management, isn't it? Because you've got to say that Carlisle have done better in these later stages of the second half. Had more possession, done better in terms of working the ball and creating chances. So maybe a little bit of gamesmanship here. Manage the game and just slow it down a little bit.
This applause is for 459 Carlisle fans, so 109 more than I guesstimated in that away end, and really warm applause and incredible described on the public address here, which is classy from Yeovil. 2,000 something and 53. Didn't quite catch the second number in there, but well over 2,000, and 459 are brilliant Blues making the trip here to Somerset. And through the back end of a storm, through terrible driving conditions in terms of the road network getting down here. It took Carlisle about 10 hours, I think, to get here. It took me and John Coleman travelling in different cars up towards 8 hours yesterday. So it's been a nightmare getting here, but 459 have done it, Chris. Well,
it's amazing, isn't it? But you don't see that very often, do you? Where the home support give the away fans a round of applause. That's very heartwarming, isn't it? And great for the game as well. So brilliant class from Yeovil there.
Yeah, it really was. Another score potentially coming in here, I think. Penrith 3-0 up now against Easington. And Lewis Jolly with the goal as the cross goes in towards goal. Edge off the area from that free kick for Yeovil. A bit of a nudge there, and then another man nudged in there. Carlisle appealing for something. Shot towards goal. Breezes managed to flap at it, and he's managed to gather it at the second or third there. He did well, actually. He didn't. The one maybe came through a sea of legs in front of him. He's hurt his left hand a little bit. You can see that, but it got away from him, and he got out, managed to smother it. Didn't catch it, but blocked the man who took a shot right on top of him. And in the end, did manage to smother it. But yeah, it was Nervy moment for Breeze and for Carlisle, as Grant's probably fouled his man there, and free kick given Yeovil's way, and now Yeovil get their man back on. Another man's now sat down on the touchline. I think with cramp, it could be the midfielder Joel, if he's maybe not had a great deal of football before this game. And Carlisle still 1-0 down here at Yeovil. That's all that really matters, and I'm just not seeing enough at the moment to suggest that they're going through the gears and things are changing. They've not got Luamba anywhere near the ball. Williams has gone off and said they've lost a bit of pace. Luamba, they just haven't worked it this right hand side, have they?
They haven't, but it's clever from Yeovil as well, aren't they? Because just when Carlisle are just starting to get back in the game, they're just managing it, aren't they? And not letting them, get time on the ball, or let them build that momentum where they can kind of grind them down. So it's good game management, isn't it? Really, but again, it's not helping the Carlisle cause any. That's for sure.
Big fan of the young man in front of us, just going all the way down to that bin to put a bit of rubbish in rather than chucking it on the floor like many would. Header away.
Good parents, that.
Yeah, great work. Great work from the family of whoever that is down below us, as the ball drifts out for a Carlisle throw, just up towards halfway on the left. Conclark thought about taking it, but knew that there'd be nobody beyond him if he did. Gets the throw into him from Harper. Harper then lifts up field, takes a deflection off the Yeovil man, and Carlisle make 10 or 15 yards territory. 67th minute. Carlisle still a goal down here. The only goal of the game, and Morgan Feeney own goal officially. And not seeing enough evidence that United have changed the tone of the game, the pattern of it. Lift the ball forwards, hopeful. Volleyed away Yeovil. Carlisle pick up the throw with Clark down the left, throws it quickly into the path of Linney down that left hand side. Good skill against his man Afeti out on that left wing. Very tight area. He's got so many shirts around him. He's got past one. He stabbed it to Clark, edge of the area, square to McAdam. Oh, what a goal! What a brilliant strike! McAdam left foot lashed into the top corner, Carlisle level. It's an absolute beauty, but great play Linney and Clark to set it up. What a goal, McAdam!
Unbelievable combination, wasn't it, between Finney and Clark? Worked it down the left hand side. He's beat his man. I don't know how he's beat his man. Fantastic feet to cut inside, and you got to say it's a great strike for the goal, isn't it? Goal kick was absolutely nowhere near it. I think the difference between the two teams sometimes is that I think Carlisle have got the players that can change the game in an instant, as they've just done there, whereas I think Yeovil have got to really work hard at it and build attacks and momentum. But again, what a fantastic goal. That's Premier League standard. There's no two ways about it.
Beautiful goal. And the thing is, it was a clever little slip pass from Clark. He gets the assist, but Linney's made that, hasn't he? It's the funny world of data and stat assists and things like that. Linney's made that goal.
Absolutely, but I think Yeovil are expecting him to come inside again, aren't they, where he's gone on the outside and beat his man. But again, fantastic feat and great creativity from the boy.
Well, 1-1. United have really not been at the races today. Now they're level in this game, and there's more than 20 minutes to go. Suddenly we'll see what Yeovil are made of, and we might see a bit more of what Carlisle should be producing. Kelly somehow chest out now, chest it off, gives it to Luamba, rides the tackle, clearly fouled, free kick given United's way. We're now getting in there, and not too far off a yellow card there, because he really swirled Luamba around there. He got a bit frustrated with that situation. United get the free kick just to the right of centre in the middle of their half. Suddenly the game has turned.
It has, and look how many players Carlisle have got forward now. They're really pushing this forward, aren't they?
Clark and Linney combined, didn't they, down the left initially. Clark to Linney with the throw. Linney did brilliantly in amongst 3 or 4 men to get out of a tight area, flicked it to Clark, he laid it off, and McAdam with a brilliant finish. Ball swirled in, Clark into that Yeovil area, comes off their man, Carlisle will get the throw. Out on the left hand side.
Yeah, it's one of the better goals you'll see this weekend. There's no two ways about that. From creativity, 1 versus 1, 1 versus 2 to actually make that goal, and the strike was sublime, wasn't it?
Oh, he scored an absolute peach against Forest Green, actually the decisive goal to put Carlisle 3-2 up, and they won 4-2 in the end, but that was a peach. This is even better. You'll love it when you get to watch this, Carlisle fans. Thrown on the left into Harper. Yeovil come out to meet, pass down the line, Linney on it again, the man with magic feet, couple of step overs, chops back inside, gets his pocket pick. Good defending, very good defending from Yeovil, and just hacked away. And how different that is. Absolutely no progression about that. Just get it away from me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the same for Carlisle in the first half, weren't they? When they were under massive pressure, when they were pumping the ball forward, there was nobody there, and you give possession away. Now the tables are turned a little bit, isn't it? And it just shows massively when you're under pressure. that when you just got to get rid of it, you are turning possession over so cheaply.
And just shows the benefit of quality, doesn't it? Kelly's gone down there thinking he should have got a free kick. Good feet from the winger for Yeovil there, but what about that strength? That's what I'm talking about with Luamba. He's not just a fast player and a player who can get at men and infect the press. The strength there to hold off his man was brilliant.
Yeah, he's done exceptionally well, and then doesn't get a good pass there and give the ball away again. So for all that good work's undone with a poor pass, isn't it? But yeah, what a strong boy he is.
Yeah, from Kelly back to Luamba. We should add, because Luamba, not the one with the poor pass, just the one who didn't get onto it. Barrow have equalised despite conceding twice, having gone down to 10 men from a leading position. They're now 2-2 in that game with Barnet at Holker Street in League 2. On the ball with Campbell, middle of the Carlisle half, trying to get them going forward. Now square across the midfield, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Good tackling back there from Hayden. Clark gets on it, treads on it, but somehow keeps possession. Looks suddenly with Carlisle. Out to the left-hand side, he's definitely offside, Linney. Lino wasn't up with play, but Linney was off.
Yeah, he was just too far offside. Even the linesman out of possessions could see that, couldn't he? But again, just delay that a little bit, can't you? And he's in, because I definitely think he's got the pace over the back 3 or 4. Yeah,
and even if they do, he has to slow it down and take a man on. I think he's gonna, he's got it within him to do it, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's them little decisions, isn't it? Where I think Clark didn't have to play that forward ball either. There was players joining the attack where he could have just played it square and they could have just got bodies forward. So yeah, it's one of them, innit?
Did you ever play at full back in any of the parts of your career?
Yeah, he's played right back. It's a great position unless you play against a really tricky winger that's up and down, and he's a little bit more athletic and quicker than you.
The thing that nothing terrifies you more, does it, than a winger who wants to take you on every time, and that's what Linney does.
Absolutely.
Yeovil trying to come at Carlisle United here. Carlisle might just get in and nick this. That is a great nick from Davies. He's hurt himself in doing it, but Carlisle have got men over here. They are 3-on-2. Linney running at his man up towards the edge of the area. Chops left, chops right, gets the angle. Shot away. Goalkeeper managed to pat it down and smother. Clark was at the back post, wanted it. Kelly was up with him as well. Linney did what Linney does. We want him to do this. That's why he's on 11 goals already. He took it on. He was greedy, exactly as he was and did against Forest Green, but on that occasion, maybe the pass the better option.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's good defending because they didn't really give him a pass, did they? They got bodies behind the ball, so there wasn't anything to thread it through to, really.
Glad Davies is back up and all right here as he's running through, but Yeovil trying to come at Carlisle United. Ball in towards the back post. Breeze does well and comes and gathers. Jarvis would have headed into the unguarded net had Breeze not been there, but that is a big woulda. Luamba now trying to take his man. Look at the ball bobbling just as he's running across the turf. It is a really undulating service, isn't it? As McAdam takes it down the right, feeds it back to Luamba here. 1-on-1 against the left back Nurse. Just thought about trying to deploy a step over or two. Not quite on. Passes square, edge of the area. Linney gives it into Clark. Tried to meg his man on the edge. Couldn't pull it off. Yeovil hack away. And Jarvis has got himself very free here. Breeze will get onto it though. The ball overhit through to him on goal. Header passed away down the right hand side for United. And on halfway, McAdam crosses halfway. Pass square to Clark, has Linney further over on the left if he wants to use him. Tries to just lift one in towards Kelly. Headed away at the back by Yeovil. Clark will pick up the second ball, edge of their area. And he drop a shoulder and make something happen. Slid in down the right, finds Luamba in space. Gets it out of his feet, drills into the middle. Drops to what a shot that is. It's gone wide, but on it, I couldn't get my words out. It was that good. Linney hit it as it pitched up to him, and it was screaming for that top corner. If that had gone in, that's your goal of the season right there. It was so close to perfect.
Absolutely, and we were right behind it as well, weren't we? Could just see it was just rising as he struck the ball. He wouldn't have hit it any better. If it's on target, it's the goal of the season, like you say. Absolutely, but much better from Carlisle, isn't it? And it's interesting, isn't it, when Yeovil are under pressure, they're getting deeper and deeper and leaving the spaces in front, which allows Carlisle to keep better possession and build better attacks. And you've got to say the last sort of 10-15 minutes it's been all Carlisle, really.
Yeah, it was just a moment of magic got them the goal, and ever since then Yeovil have receded and Carlisle have grown. But I've never known a strike make the words trap in my throat. I was just so in awe of this strike. I just couldn't speak as it just arrowed towards that top corner. Sort of outside of the right foot drill, wasn't it? It was a beauty of a strike. But if that had gone in, you might not see a better goal anywhere this season.
Very true. I mean,
pure strike. Great
technique as well, isn't he? He's got it all right. Apart from it's just slightly off target, but done really well. Again, Yeovil game management. The goalkeeper's now injured.
Yes, of course he is. Here comes the Carlisle bus as well, round the back there over on the far side. It really does look like a sort of a cup final bus, doesn't it? Over there, look, the Blue United bus going around the. It's been a little bit of ridicule just quite how extravagant their bus is, but you know, if you've got rich owners who want you to travel in style, then what are you going to do? You're not going to say no, are you?
No, absolutely not. And I think, you know, if you consider the amount of travelling that Carlisle got to do, you've got to get your transport right, make sure it's comfortable for the players, because you want them to be able to perform when they're here. You don't want them to be tired or, you know, be a bit leggy. So that transport is massively important.
Gateshead have equalised against Truro, speaking of travel. Fulham have equalised against Newcastle as well. Boreham Wood are now back level at 1-1, as are Forest Green, like Carlisle of course, and Rochdale still 0-0. A couple of changes coming here for the home side. Oluwabore is coming off. Just trying to see the ref, or the fourth official, hold at the board to tell us who's coming on. James Daly coming on as the first of their changes. No, well, I thought they were doing two actually, but maybe it was just somebody coming back on or somebody having a drink over on the far side. Daly coming on for Oluwabore. 1-1, 76th minute. Long goal kick forwards from the man who's miraculously not at all injured and just needed treatment. Ball drops for the Yeovil man, lifted up towards the edge of the area. Oh, Davis has headed it onto their man. Then it's a missed kick from Feeney as well. Jarvis has backed into Feeney. I'm not entirely sure how that's not a foul. Feeney nods it in amongst boots there, and they'll take it towards the corner flag, and Owen Davis has let his man get around him here. Daly down that left hand side, finds a teammate crossing towards goal, drops at the back post. They should have done more. Carlisle were pulled apart there, undone too easily, and I tell you what, Tavon Campbell, I think it flashed across Jarvis maybe in front of him, and he was slightly unsighted or what, he spooned it over the bar. It should be 2-1.
It was. I mean, it was a mistake in the corner, wasn't it, for initially, which allowed him to get the cross in, but Tavon Campbell's got across the front of his man, and it's just sat up and bobbled up as he's about to hit it. It's gone over the bar, luckily.
Downfield it goes. United just, I guess, made aware of their own mortality there, aren't they, in this game, as Linney charges down the clearance, but it goes through to their goalkeeper in net. They've done so well to get a foothold in the game, get an equaliser, look like the team on the front foot, but they could have easily been 2-1 down again there.
Again, yeah, and it comes down to sometimes it's a mistake in the game that can allow the opposition in, can't it? But you've got to give credit to Carlisle in the second half. They've done way better than the first.
From a Harrogate man, Daly, I thought it was. There were two of them at Harrogate, weren't there? Him and Matty Daly. Now with Forest Green here after a spell with Aldershot. Down the right hand side come Yeovil. Campbell just sort of overran the ball, but actually managed to retrieve it, and he's now running in field up towards the edge of the area, outside of the right foot pass, finds a teammate. You can see a bit of holding there from the Carlisle player. They've worked it to the right wing, cross comes in towards goal, headed away Feeney, corner to Yeovil. They've rediscovered a little purple patch, haven't they, here? They're clawing their way back into this a little.
That's it, they've managed the game at the right time, haven't they, with their injuries, which has allowed them back in the game, and the momentum's with them just slightly in this last 2-3 minutes.
78th minute, Carlisle United 1-1 here with Yeovil. Desperately not want to go behind again, having worked so hard to equalise. In a game, let's be honest, they really will feel they should win. The top however many, ball into the penalty area. Breeze has not really got it, and he's had a flap at it. He felt he was being held, but it hit off the Yeovil man and goes over the bar, and that again could have gone in, living more than dangerously here, United.
It is. I think he just can't quite get there, can he? He's had a little bit of a flap with his right hand, and it's come through to Jarvis, who probably didn't quite expect he was going to get it. It's kind of hit his back of his head and gone over the bar. But again, you'd expect Jarvis to hit the target in that position.
Scunthorpe have taken the lead again. Scunthorpe 2, Aldershot 1. Ball worked out right hand side here for Regan Linney for United, right at their penalty area. Tries to get into that box. Jinx gives it to McAdam. Ball in towards goal. Man goes down. Thought it was a push actually from one of the Carlisle players. Chris Clark trying to work the angle for a shot towards goal beyond the near post, and a goal kick to Yeovil. Just looking at that top side, before Scunthorpe had taken the lead there, almost everyone in the top 7 was drawing. But now Forest Green and Scunthorpe have quickly scored goals and lead again. So United third on the point they're on still at the moment. It's sort of interchanging in there, but it'd be a cracking day to come from behind and get a winner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially considering the first half performance, which wasn't at the races, wasn't good enough really, but done better in the second half.
Yeah. Consider it still Woking 0, Rochdale 0 as well. United went there. Hayden's gone down there with a knock to the face off that one. The referee spotted that and gives the free kick. Carl went down there and really competently and professionally put Woking aside on the opening day of the season. It'd be having seen that game in Rochdale, be a surprise if Rochdale couldn't find their way past there. Change for United here. Archie Davis is coming off to be replaced by Jordan Jones, which is a very attacking right back change, unless United are going to rejig here. I wonder how this is going. Jordan Jones seems to be coming in on the left. Looks to me like United are going for it here. I don't know who's going to go to right. No, he is. No, Jordan Jones is coming to right back, is he? He's coming in just to explain to the Carlisle men what's going on. Is it Junior Luamba to right back? I don't know whether Archie Davis might have got a nick in that tackle, like something had done to his leg here, so he might have gone off injured there. There's another change coming for them as well. It's 9, Jarvis off and Finn Cousin Dawson coming on. Really good game from Jarvis. I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're bringing him off actually, because he's been a thorn in the side all afternoon, hasn't he? Been really difficult to play against. Certainly Feeney has found it extremely difficult, hasn't he, where he's had success in previous games. Yeah, Jarvis has been very, very difficult to play against, but nevertheless he's off and he's been replaced.
Yeah, they often play with that sort of Pendleton coming on as well. They often play with that extra man in the midfield and like the one up front, so the fact they've gone 4-4-2 here was clearly a tactic for Carlisle, but perhaps now they're just feeling it, don't want to leave the door open too much to United.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think certainly when United go forward, they just drop off, don't they, and they give them momentum, so maybe they're just trying to change that a little bit and stop the flow.
Kelly works really hard to get United on the ball there, but Yeovil do manage to clear anyway, headed on by Campbell for them. They'll try and break through United here. United have just about got the bodies in place there to steer it back towards goal. So possibly Greenslade, the other one who went off there to allow Pendleton on, headed away. I doubt it was him actually. He'll be the only. No, maybe Campbell. Maybe it is Campbell's gone up front now from the right. Gets a little toe inside. Grant swirls it around the corner, but just giving it back to Yeovil on the edge of the area. Urged to shoot McCormick. Sends the pass out to the right. Instead of shooting, he went for a pass that wasn't on, missed it, and it's a throw into Carlisle.
Yeah, I mean he's got time and space there, hasn't he? Just to set it up and hit the target.
Fans were right, weren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But he's had a good game, all round really. This afternoon. So disappointing from him, but good for Carlisle.
Still very nip and tuck in the National League, where Carlisle United are squandering 2 points, you'd argue, in coming into this one. But to be quite honest, Chris Beard, I'd have to say if they get a point here, it won't be a terrible result, because they've been second best through a lot of the game.
They've had a period of about 15 minutes.
Shot towards goal, and it's that man Nurse, ping towards goal, took a deflection corner, Breeze scrambling to his right. He's broke United hearts, as I mentioned, 6 years ago when on loan at Newport, now on loan here at Yeovil. He's at it again.
He is, but he's got, again, too much time and space in them central areas, isn't it? You've got to go and press him, you've got to go and do it at pace, but again, the longer the games go on, there gets tired legs out there, and that pressing becomes a lot harder.
83rd minute, Nurse with that deflected shot wins Yeovil a corner. Carlisle have got to defend this and then decide whether they still want to go after a win. Corner swirled in towards that back post, and great header away from Hayden for United. Played to Con Clark down the right by Linney. What can Con Clark do here? Getting up towards halfway, passes it, slides the ball into the path of Linney. Down the right, great running from Regan Linney. Tries the drilled ball to the back post. Charged down by Carlisle. It looks like Luamba is at right back here. Linney's come over to the right hand side. That's the way United have gone at this with a change. I presume Archie Davis must have hurt himself to go off and do this with Luamba, but Luamba is a big strong man, so you'd think should be able to cope for 10 minutes at right back. On the ball United, on halfway, working it through the men out to the left wing now, and Jordan Jones. He'll try taking his man on with Kraft and Guile. Goes at him down the left hand side, gets the cross in towards goal. Goalkeeper gathers at the near post.
Yeah, it's an easy cross for the goalkeeper, and then isn't it, straight down his throat as he's coming down the line of the ball. But again, better bit of play. But I think we could be able to switch the play a little bit quicker. We'll get in down the sides, but we're just too predictable down one side often, I think.
Huge clobber downfield from their goalkeeper. Grant plays it out, play down the left hand side, and gets Carlisle a throw. Jed Ward on loan from Bristol Rovers. That is a monstrous kick into the wind, isn't it? I think the wind has died down a bit, but it's still got up towards nearly the edge of the Carlisle penalty area. Ball bouncing in the midfield. Carlisle just got to deal with it as Yeovil try and get on top of it and come forward. Cleared away for a throw into the right of the United box.
Yeah, it's just that difficult one for Feeney to deal with, isn't it? Just when it's hooked over, isn't it? And you're not quite expecting it.
Sort of dropped in between him and Hayden, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Difficult one to deal with, but nevertheless he's cleared it for a throw.
Well, I have a bit of a feeling that if there's another goal here, it'll be the winner. Into that next goal winner territory. If either of them get it, I don't think the other will have time to catch him, will they? We're very tight now for United. Do they gamble and try and get that win? They have the chance because Yeovil are coming forwards with the long throw into the area. Breeze came a long way, saw it a long way and gathered, then hammers away downfield. Should be dealt with back towards the goalkeeper, and is held by his man there cleverly was Linney as the other defender headed back towards the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think he just fancied Linney there, didn't he? 2 versus 1 in Yeovil's favour, but he just fancied it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what Breeze was looking for, but even Linney didn't quite have it within him to come on top in that situation when the defenders were favourite to get on the ball. 86th minute, they win the flick from their goalkeeper's head. Feeney heads it back up towards halfway. Winnell gets them on the ball here with Nurse down the left hand side, cut out in the midfield by McAdam. It was a poor pass by the Yeovil left back. Where are the extra bodies for McAdam to pick out? Slides it to Luamba down the right hand side, then goes the long way around him. Luamba's had his pocket picked now, and Nurse will try and come forwards, passes inside, and they're trying to work the overlap down the left now here. Luamba pins his ears back, should be able to get there ahead of Nurse. Nurse slides in and chops through the back of him. Free kick, Carlisle. Good pace and power there from Luamba to almost recover his own mistake.
Yeah, he's done really well to get back there, hasn't he, and regain possession, even though be it through a foul. But again, he's just got be a little bit quicker with his options and what he wants to do with the ball. He's got to be one thought ahead, because as he delays it, they get bodies behind the ball, and it's difficult then to play through. So just needs to be a little bit quicker and a little bit better from him, really.
Header away from Yeovil from the free kick forwards, and they'll head on again on halfway. Luamba in the battle with his man, wins out, gives it to Feeney, and lifted downfield, but it's a very hopeful ball, isn't it, rather than anything crafted. It'll flick round the corner from Campbell, who was offside. Free kick United just inside their own half, right in the middle. 87th minute, time running out at Hewish Park for either of these sides to win this game. Quite a few substitutions and a goal, and we got a yellow in this second half. Can only see 2 or 3 minutes time added on. I don't think it'd be a great deal.
No, we just need a little bit of moment of magic again, don't we, like we did for the equaliser.
Certainly do. A moment. The only magic that's really thrown at this weekend was the excellent ciders that I managed to sample last night. But Carlisle might produce a bit more magic here on the right hand side, with Linney getting an angle for the shot, thrashing it towards goal. There's always that anticipation when he gears up the strike, but that one was repelled. I suppose you could argue it's pretty magic, the Carlisle equaliser from McAdam and the football around it, but it would be a lot more of a conjuring act if they could find a win out of this game. Throw in from the right for Carlisle. Luamba gave it to Grant, gets it back, gives it into Feeney on halfway. Con Clark comes very deep for the ball, just where Yeovil had want him, trying to engineer for United, but he's a long way from where he can hurt Yeovil, and he's just passing square at the moment. Gives it to Feeney. He can come out to Luamba on this right touchline, but the man closes him down. Is there a forward pass? No. Wind buffeting through again, just picking back up here at the end of storm, whatever it was this time, as Jones gets on the ball. He just passes square. United can't find a way to pick through. Yeovil have got everyone back in that defensive shape. McAdam looks with the ball down the line to Luamba. Linney wanted it inside. Luamba just dallied, and then the cross is repelled, and they've hooked away, and Feeney's got to be careful with the flight of this one. Campbell got around him, but Feeney managed to get back across with good strength and tidies it back to Gabe Breeze. Can get a foot on it here and can pass off wherever he wants to. Gives it into Josh Grant, can turn and look forwards. 89th minute we're just into. 1-1 the situation if you're just joining us. Carlisle trailed for loads of this game. 16th minute till the 67th. Ball forwards after it. Linney fouled his man. Free kick to Yeovil on the edge of the area. Equaliser from McAdam was a beauty for Carlisle. This is going to be the standout moment of the match, unless either of these teams has got anything left in the dying embers of the game.
Con Clark's just trying to create something, isn't he? He's getting deeper and deeper to receive the ball, which is creating spaces in front of him, but we just need that killer pass or a little bit of quality in the final third.
With a little pass around the corner of United. Again, Feeney very aware of what the forward was going to do. Tidies it back to Breeze, who clears up in search of Kelly. Holds off Winnell. But Winnell gets over him and wins the header. Con Clark first term over the top now. One for McAdam to chase. He's got the pace and power to get away down the right here. Con Clark wanted the quick ball inside. Didn't come. McAdam lays it off into Jordan Jones here. Gives it on to Luamba down the right touchline. Luamba steps inside. Jones goes around him. Cross to the back post. Headed away by Afeti, and that'll get them cleared up towards halfway again. United pick it up again with Hayden. Middle of the park onto McAdam. Then out to the right wing now, and Jordan Jones has popped up there. Luamba's down the middle. Can Jones get across in towards goal? In at the near post. Defender hacks it away. Really good clearance actually from the impressive Winnell, who's had a super game at the back for them.
I mean, it was actually a decent cross. The space was there at the near post, and it's begging for that one. Now the striker to come across the the centre half to get it on the half turn, but nobody read it really.
McAdam couldn't find a forward pass. We're in the final 15 seconds of the 90 here as United drive forwards with Hayden down the left hand side into the path of Jones out on that left, tries to drop the shoulder and get the cross in towards goal. He should have won Carlisle a corner, and he has. It's a corner here as we go into stoppage time at the end of this match. Fourth official tells us there'll be 7 minutes time added on. I didn't see that coming, Chris. I suppose it's from all of the going down with it, the injuries.
Absolutely, and it's good that the officials have actually noticed that and recognised the game management and put 7 minutes on. So let's hope it's productive for Carlisle.
Referee spotted some pushing in there and just wants to tell the players none of that. Love to see him give a penalty here as the ball comes in. He's just telling them stop shoving each other, etc. I don't know why you tell the forwards that, because the forwards just want to get on and score a goal. It's the defenders. Just look at the defenders.
It always is, but it's always in the favour of the defender, isn't it?
It is. If he gives anything here, it'll be a defensive free kick. Here comes the corner to Carlisle United. In towards goal it goes. United got up through Hayden. The goalkeeper jumped to absolutely nothing. Drops in at the near post, and I think somebody's headed it off one of our players, and it's somehow a goal kick. But the goalkeeper, it was wild. Came out, got absolutely nowhere near it. I think Hayden got the first contact, and in the end, it's a goal kick when it could have easily just fallen into the back of an unguarded goal.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a mess, wasn't it? I actually think it was one of the Yeovil players that's gone to header it out for a corner and actually headed it onto his own arm, and then it's gone out. But strangely enough, the referees give a goal kick.
Yeah, Feeney wasn't happy with that one, but I think he's had enough chuntering to the referee. I think he'd be in the book if he said anything else, so he left it on that occasion. 92nd minutes. There'll be 7 added on. Really chilly now around Hewish Park as the ball comes high up towards Feeney, who's been helped under the ball by his man, and they've broken away with Daly down the left hand side, crosses in towards the back post, great touch away. Harper picked up on the edge, shot towards goal. Breeze gathers. That was dangerous. Harper did brilliantly actually, that outside of the left foot clearance there under real pressure. Now Carlisle trying to come forwards here with Jordan Jones taken out as he went, free kick, and it'll be a yellow card to their defender as unceremoniously hacked down Jones there to stop the counter.
Yeah, it's definitely a tactical foul, that one, wasn't it? Because Carlisle were blisteringly forward, getting bodies forward, and that could have been another opportunity. But nevertheless, he's give the foul away, took the yellow card, took it on the chin, and slowed the game down.
Yeah, a cracking yellow, a good yellow, they would say from their perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't argue with that in truth, because Carlisle were motoring forwards. But they've got a free kick now and a chance to plunder once more. Lifted up towards the edge of the penalty area. You can see Hayden being held there as the referee didn't feel that was a foul, didn't think it was enough. Maybe Hayden's holding a little as well. Can't get back to Con Clark. It was a bit of a curly ping of a free kick, wasn't it? Didn't really set the world on fire. Passes in towards goal, gets it to Linney. Yeovil will get the next touch and clear away. Carlisle will pick it up though. Out on the right hand side, ball out to Luamba. It was a good ball from Harper on his right foot. Luamba passes infield to McAdam. What can he send forwards for United? Over on the left is Jordan Jones. That's who he'll go to. He can conjure if required. Just turns, looks around, trying to see what's going on, who he can pick out and make things happen with. Lays it off to McAdam. Infield it comes now to Grant. All in the centre circle this. United want to get it forwards, but you can see they want to build and not just hoist it forwards, hopefully, or two hopefully. And they'll get a bit more desperate the longer we go on here. Grant works it to Con Clark on the right hand side. Sharp touch moves him away from his man, dances over the grass, gathering pace as he goes, feeds it to Hayden, who's popped up in an offensive position, out to Jones on the left. It was a slightly unnecessarily drilled ball there that Jones struggled to deal with but manages to kill. Back to Con Clark, reverse ball in, looking towards Josh Grant. The defender though, Williams, has had such a good game like Winnell in there, managed to get onto it, breaks Yeovil's way. Feeney couldn't lunge in, held his man off there. You can see the man holding Feeney, and the referee will surely give Carlisle the free kick. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's actually done well in the end there, Feeney, hasn't he? Because he kind of hesitated and it looked like he almost wasn't going to get there. Just managed to get his body there, get his arm on in the defender's chest, and yeah, just managed to hold him off and draw a free kick.
They're bringing on Alex Whittle for Joe Leaf, just to help carve out more of the game, I've no doubt. And the referee sends him off this near side of the pitch to stop him trying to ride any more time out the game. In the 95th minute now, just under 3 to go here at Hewish Park. Carlisle doing all the talking now, in truth, in terms of trying to make something happen late on. All the running is with them. Yeovil now on the defensive side of things are performing pretty well here. They'll be delighted if they get a point. Ball long, deep to the back post. Hayden jumped under it, dropped. Kelly nearly got onto the loose ball in the penalty area there as Yeovil hesitated. Carlisle will take the throw with Jones on the left. Con Clark's in space here on this right hand side if they can find him. Harper 1-2, couldn't see the pass, gives it to McAdam, listed into the area. Oh, it's going to be Winnell again. Con Clark gathers, edge of the box, has his pocket pick though. Campbell trying to break away. McAdam for strength has blocked his man off. Good play from McAdam. Gets Con Clark onto the ball, going into the penalty area. Pushed as he went after it. Ref says no. I think that was a push actually. They play out quickly over the top, trying to release their winger out on that right hand side, but Breeze will gather on the edge of the area. The man bundles into him. Other goalkeepers would have gone down, but Breeze is tough and Cumbrian and also wants to keep Carlisle going. Ball drops out towards Luamba on the right here. It's come off the Yeovil man. Carlisle throw, middle of their half. 96th minute. Throw-in from Luamba into McAdam. Now or never really for Carlisle United. 90 seconds of this game to go. Worked out the left hand side. Harper has Jones further over on the left wing. Going into his man down the left, chops inside, chops outside, gets towards the byline, sends a cross in towards goal, header, takes it to a Carlisle man. It's Con Clark at the back post. What can he do? Drills it into the middle, straight to a Yeovil man who hacks away downfield. Oh, I just wanted him to pick a player out there, didn't he? And he just drilled in percentage.
Did you? I mean, look, it's the right one. He just the run selection, wasn't it? Wasn't enough quality on it. But if he gets it right, anything could happen when the ball gets, smashed across the box there.
Harper's ball away down the left there, really caught up in wind or whatever, a missed kick, and just went back to Yeovil when United thought they were breaking away again. Your Pen's on the run again. It's got a mind of its own, hasn't it, Your Pen? It keeps trying to get away from you.
Shows you the wind.
Yeah, it really does. Ball's come off for Yeovil man. Carlisle will get the throw. 30 seconds to go, but they're in the left back position. Yeovil have managed this really well, having lost their lead, and Carlisle have been the team trying to win the game more as this game has drawn on. Con Clark bringing it up towards the edge of the penalty area here for Carlisle. Can he find a bit of magic? Sends it square to Linney, edge of the area. Man's all over him. Linney goes down. Referee doesn't see the foul again. Linney's hurt. Carlisle fans and Linney can't believe it. Clearance away downfield. Campbell has done really well to hold off Aaron Hayden there, and then they played it away down the left here, and Carper have just got to be careful. Carlisle have, and McAdam just punts it away, and that'll probably be it. Will the referee play on? Seems to be playing on here with this throw in left on the left hand side, middle of the United half, as Yeovil suddenly probably realise this will be the last attack. Can they make something happen? Taking their time with this throw. The referee might call time if they don't get a move on. Nurse just taking forever with it. Looks like they don't really want to play. No one's coming towards him. They don't want to play, ref. Come on, what? You've surely got to chivvy them, man. Thrown in field, and that's full time. It's 1-1. Well, we said it not long after they equalised. You take the point in the end, wouldn't you? Because for so much of this game, Carlisle were really toiling and not really producing a great deal. And the one moment of real brilliance they created got them the equaliser, and then they were fighting on and on and on to try and get the winner, but just didn't quite have enough about them to do it. Chris Beard.
No, I think for as better, they're much better in the second half. But for all the possession they had and they built better attacks, the end product wasn't amazing, was it? And I think the difference between the two teams is I think Carlisle have got individuals that can give you that moments of brilliance to score goals, and Yeovil really have to work hard at creating. But you've got to say that probably it's a good point, really, isn't it? Because the performance really wasn't quite good enough today.
Really interesting image there, just as I'm looking out, where all the players were over, sort of congratulating each other and things, but Chris Con Clark away from that clutch of Yeovil and Carlisle players, down on his haunches, looking at the floor, looked really disconsolate, like couldn't believe that they hadn't managed to find a way. I think that's almost the hallmark of a real winner there, someone who just was devastated to have left 2 points here rather than, well, we fought quite hard and fair play to them and well done lads and all of that. Just somebody for his own, I don't know, whatever it is about him, just unhappy with how it's all panned out.
Yeah, and that's a great attitude to see as well, isn't it? I mean, he was frustrated in the first half, wasn't he? Because they really crowded it out. They got numbers around him whenever he received the ball. He had more during the second half, and he played a massive part in creating the equaliser. But yeah, you want a great attitude like that. You want winners in your team, don't you? And in previous games, he has been one of the standout players, so you can understand his disappointment today. But nevertheless, it's a point on the road. You've got to say, against a very difficult to play against Yeovil team. and they're still in the race. They're still in a good position to kind of build off.
I'll let Paul Newton run you through the table and what it all means, but what have you made of Carlisle? I mean, this is a team that wants to win this title in the National League. You've seen how good they can be in the moment, but across the match, I suspect you'll be a bit underwhelmed by a team who are really pushing for a title.
Yeah, I think the first half, look, Yeovil were definitely the better team. You know, a little bit more tenacious in the middle of the park. I think they did the homework in terms of the danger men and kind of nullifying them in the first half. But they competed well, didn't they, Yeovil? Whereas I think Carlisle struggled to build that momentum, struggled to really control the game, certainly in central areas. That was for sure. But yeah, a little bit underwhelmed. But again, you can see that there's quality in there. There's a really good nucleus of a team in there. But more importantly as well, you've got individuals that can change the game and can score your goals. And often that will be the difference between, you know, promotion or mid-table.
And however far you've travelled to a game to see matches, when you see a goal like that one from McAdam, the build-up, the strike, everything about it, it's worth coming for, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was top draw. You won't see a better one in any league, you know, anywhere in Europe. Today it was exceptional. The quality from start to finish with a combination of the three players and the finish at the end was absolutely top draw and an absolute pleasure to watch.
And a fitting reward for those 459 travelling Cumbrians.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely warmed the hearts, wasn't it, and give him something positive to take back with, because it was an exceptional finish and something that they deserve for the amount of travelling that they've done today.
It's been a pleasure to commentate with you, Chris Beard. We'll get more out of you in the last hour on the post-match here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, but slightly disappointingly, I suppose, when you want to win a title and you want to get to the top, stay in contention, you want to win every game, don't you, in particular to place like this. But when they've played as poorly as they did at times today, and for as much of the game as they did, to get something out of it must be taken as a positive, even if I suspect you all feel a bit like it's 2 points dropped today. It is a point gained as Carlisle finish 1-1 here at Yeovil.